Phoenix Nights. Chapter 2132. Netherworld Old Ghost, do you need help? The undying skeleton emperor said to the Netherworld Emperor. Why are you here? The Netherworld Emperor was surprised to see the undying skeleton emperor here. He did not expect the undying skeleton emperor to finish the task so quickly. Bang! The Ghost Emperor took advantage of the moment when the Netherworld Emperor was distracted and sent him flying thousands of meters away with a palm. The Ghost Emperor's body became blurry. How dare you! The Emperor of the Netherworld was both shocked and furious. This demon god Ghost Emperor was too powerful. Its cultivation was on par with his. It would not be easy to defeat this Ghost Emperor. Humph, you want to fight me together? The Ghost Emperor was shocked when he saw the helpers. He was even more shocked when he saw the godly crocodile next to the undying skeleton emperor. I did not expect you to subdue this crazy crocodile. The Ghost Emperor seemed to know the origin of the godly crocodile. You old ghost, be careful of your words. The godly crocodile was unhappy. He was not subdued by the undying skeleton emperor, but he voluntarily submitted to the master of the undying skeleton emperor. The Ghost Emperor's words made him angry. What? You want to fight? The Ghost Emperor was very strong. He stared at the godly crocodile and released a strong murderous intent. It seemed that there was a feud between him and the godly crocodile. You think I'm afraid of you? The godly crocodile walked forward immediately. It walked on two legs like a human. Its bone body released a strong wave of soul power. A soul fire jumped in its skull, shining with bright soul light. It's mine! At this time, the Netherworld Emperor rushed over again. You two, come at me together! The Ghost Emperor glanced at the godly crocodile and the Netherworld Emperor. The ghost chi on his body was vast and mighty, giving people a feeling of arrogance. It seemed that he did not take the Netherworld Emperor and the godly crocodile seriously at all. How arrogant! The undying skeleton emperor sneered when he saw that the Ghost Emperor wanted to fight the Netherworld Emperor and the godly crocodile at the same time. I can kill you myself. You newcomer, don't interfere. Emperor of the Underworld said to the divine crocodile. He had never seen this divine crocodile before. It should be a new subordinate of the undying skeleton emperor in the dark ghost realm. You! Hearing this, godly crocodile was a little unhappy. Crocodile monarch, don't interfere. At this time, the undying skeleton emperor spoke. If it didn't say anything, these two fellows would probably start fighting first, and that wouldn't be a good thing. The divine crocodile glanced at the undying skeleton emperor and retreated. Looks like I won't be able to deal with you without using my trump card. Seeing that the divine crocodile retreated, the emperor of the underworld faced the divine demon ghost emperor. Both ghost emperors did not underestimate their opponents, especially the divine demon ghost emperor. As the saying went, only a ferocious dragon would cross the river. Since the other party dared to fight in the dark ghost realm, they definitely had something to rely on. Bring it on. The demon god ghost emperor stared at the emperor of the netherworld and said in a deep voice. Kill. The emperor of the underworld didn't say anything more. He directly turned into a phantom and pounced on the divine demon ghost emperor. He seemed to have merged with the surrounding void in an instant, and the whole ghost emperor body became faint and unreal. Then, the faint ghostly figure suddenly split into a dozen or so phantoms. Each of the phantoms gave off an extremely powerful wave, and each of the phantoms seemed like the real body of the emperor of the netherworld. This is... The divine demon ghost emperor was taken aback. They had been fighting for so long, but the other party didn't display such a great skill. Could this be the other party's trump card? If the old ghost netherworld fights desperately, even I have to retreat. The undying skeleton emperor said. This guy is really that strong. The divine crocodile was shocked when it heard this. It had already learned from the undying skeleton emperor that there were 3 immortal emperors under his lord. In addition to the emperor of the underworld, there was also the undying corpse emperor. The 3 immortal emperors had followed his lord for a long time, and they were his lord's trusted subordinates. The divine crocodile knew that it had just submitted to his lord. It was absolutely impossible for his lord to trust it like the three immortal emperors. It knew that what it needed to do now was to gain his lord's trust. The divine crocodile was an immortal creature with great perseverance. It was not easy to reverse life and death. An immortal creature without great perseverance would never walk on this path. Rumble. The emperor of the underworld turned into 10 phantoms and fought against the divine demon ghost emperor. The powerful ghost Tao power shook the earth, and the destructive power instantly enveloped the divine demon ghost emperor. Roar. The divine demon ghost emperor roared continuously. He was in big trouble. The other party had gone all out, and the combat power he displayed was much more powerful and terrifying than before. Bang! A figure flew out horizontally. Die! The emperor of the underworld roared, and the 10 phantoms instantly merged together. He then waved his hand, and a black whip immediately flew out from his hand, entangling the figure that flew out. Swoosh! The black whip instantly caught up with the divine demon ghost emperor and entangled him. What is this? A saint-level ghost artifact? Impossible. The divine demon ghost emperor was terrified. He was entangled by the black whip in the emperor of the underworld's hand, and he could not break free. Moreover, the black whip kept tightening, and there were runes emerging on the black whip. A powerful devouring power was emitted from the black whip, and it was actually devouring the ghost Tao power of the divine demon ghost emperor. Roar! The divine demon ghost emperor kept roaring, and his voice was filled with fear. The opponent's black whip was too terrifying, and it could actually devour his power. In just a short while, a small part of the ghost Tao power in his body had been devoured by the black whip. At this rate, the ghost Tao power in his body would soon be drained by the black whip. At that time, the divine demon ghost emperor's soul would be destroyed, even without the emperor of the underworld's help. However, the emperor of the underworld could not wait that long. He directly attacked, and pressed his right hand towards the divine demon ghost emperor. In his palm, there was a pitch-black lightning indistinctly appearing. Gloomy thunder hand! Seeing the emperor of the underworld's move, the undying skeleton emperor could not help but be shocked. This emperor of the underworld has really mastered the gloomy thunder hand. Rumble! The emperor of the underworld's right hand slapped on the divine demon ghost emperor's body. Immediately, there was a dull sound of thunder, and then, pitch-black lightning emerged from the ghost demon ghost emperor's body. Bang! Chapter 2133. After the emperor of the netherworld killed the empress of the gods and demons, he continued to lead his army forward. This time, there were no more powerful opponents in the path of the netherworld army. The 3 undying emperors eventually swept through the entire dark ghost realm, and took control of the Haitian land. Then, the 3 undying emperors started to lead the army to search for the source of heaven and earth. It should be known that every world had a source of heaven and earth that supported it. The source of heaven and earth was the core of the world. A world without a source would not exist for long. Even a world created with great magic power would collapse quickly without the support of the source. However, the 3 undying emperors couldn't find the source of heaven and earth even though they turned the entire dark ghost realm upside down. It seems like the source of heaven and earth should be in this divine palace, Gu Fei muttered to himself. It didn't matter to him whether he could find the source of heaven and earth or not. His inner world had already grown big enough. Ever since he refined the ancestral court of Central Prefecture into his inner world, his divine land had expanded by a third. Gu Fei's inner world was currently transforming into a complete great world. The current divine land had a radius of 10,000 miles. This kind of territory was comparable to a small continent. However, this dark ghost realm was filled with an aura of death, which was poles apart from his divine land that was full of vitality. If he were to refine such a world into his inner world, a great disaster might occur. I will reward this world to whoever can find the source of heaven and earth. Gu Fei made such a promise. What, this? The 3 undying emperors were extremely excited when they heard this. The reward was so great that they almost went crazy. It should be known that the Dark Ghost Realm was the most suitable place for Ghost Dao experts to cultivate. If they could control this Ghost Realm, they would definitely be able to improve their strength greatly. Search. Find the source of heaven and earth even if you have to dig a kilometer underground. Without any hesitation, the 3 undead horses began to move. Even the celestial crocodile that had just surrendered to Gu Fei was excited as if it had been injected with chicken blood. Master is really generous. He actually casually bestowed a world to his subordinates. The godly crocodile was secretly shocked. His master was unfathomable, especially his cauldron, which made him feel extremely dangerous. Everyone began to move. The silence of the entire Divine Palace ruins was completely broken. Just as the 3 undying emperors and the divine crocodile were searching for the origin source of heaven and earth, a huge change took place on the ancient sky burial star. The darkness had shrouded the entire ancient sky burial star for several days, and there were still no signs of it receding. This made Gu Zhong and the others who were training on the ancient sky burial star feel uneasy. Buzz! On the 5th day, the teleportation array in the ancient city suddenly lit up. The void above the teleportation array vibrated and ripples visible to the naked eye spread out in all directions. At this time, everyone had just returned to the ancient city. In the past few days, they had discovered that the number of ghosts in the darkness outside the city seemed to have decreased a lot, and the powerful ghosts seemed to have disappeared. Everyone had vaguely guessed that this was probably the work of Gu Fei. Gu Zhong knew that his master had left the ancient city to search for the nest of the ghosts on this ancient planet. Moreover, his master might have already found the nest. Otherwise, he wouldn't have taken such a long time to return. Rumble! The void above the teleportation array vibrated, and a figure that looked like a golden sun walked out of the void. The powerful metal elemental power was vast and mighty, and it was so oppressive that everyone almost couldn't breathe. The Golden Goddess! Everyone was shocked when they saw this figure. The Golden Goddess had been chasing behind them, but she had only just arrived at this ancient planet. Gu Zhong and the others saw that many parts of the divine armor on the Golden Goddess's body were broken. It was obvious that the Golden Goddess had encountered a powerful opponent on her way here. The Golden Goddess walked down the teleportation array platform, and the dazzling golden light on her body began to converge. In the end, it completely disappeared into her body, and the oppressive aura also disappeared. This place. The Golden Goddess wasn't surprised to see Gu Zhong and the others, because Gu Zhong and the others were walking in front of her. It wasn't strange to see them. What really shocked the Golden Goddess was the endless darkness outside the ancient city. There seemed to be a powerful existence hiding in the darkness, which made her very uneasy. I didn't expect the Golden Goddess to come here so quickly. Did you encounter a powerful enemy on your way here? Gu Zhong smiled and walked forward. Where's your master? The Golden Goddess glanced at everyone and asked indifferently. Naturally, she wasn't afraid that Gu Fei would secretly attack her because Gu Fei wouldn't use such a method to deal with her. My master said that he would leave for a few days. I think he will be back soon, answered Gu Zhong. He wasn't afraid that the Golden Goddess would attack them either. After all, they still had Tieshua Taoist, a great accomplishment quasi-sage, on their side. Although Tieshua Taoist might not be a match for the Golden Goddess, he was still very terrifying when he risked his life. He left you here. Didn't he know that I would catch up to him? The Golden Goddess looked at Gu Zhong and her voice suddenly became cold. Everyone's expression changed when they heard this. The 12 bandits stared at the Golden Goddess and became cautious. Even Tieshua Taoist couldn't help but be moved. The atmosphere in the ancient city suddenly became somewhat oppressive. I say, Your Excellency, don't scare us. We are all very timid. After a moment of silence, Gu Zhong broke the silence in the ancient city and smiled at the Golden Goddess. He knew that if the Golden Goddess wanted to attack them, she wouldn't have spoken to them. The Golden Goddess had some misgivings. Her misgivings were naturally her master. You are timid, but I think you are the most courageous. Aren't you afraid that I will really kill you? The golden goddess stared at Gu Zhong. She was wearing a golden mask, so no one could see her current expression. Your opponent is my master. It doesn't seem to be beneficial for you to attack us. Gu Zhong was still smiling. He didn't sense any killing intent from the golden goddess. Humph. The golden goddess snorted coldly, and no longer paid attention to them. She soared into the sky and disappeared into the darkness outside the ancient city. He took a step forward and entered a certain area of the divine palace. He saw demonic chi rising in front of him, which had already enveloped an area of dozens of miles. Roar! Demons were faintly discernible in the midst of the demonic chi. They were roaring, and their voices caused one's hair to stand on end. Those were the demonized undying creatures that had already turned into terrifying demons. Master! Seeing Gu Fei appear, the three undying emperors and the divine crocodile hurried over to greet him. What's going on? Gu Fei couldn't help but frown as he looked at the demonic chi that was still spreading in all directions. He could sense an incomparably powerful demonic energy condensing. We don't know either. It seems like some kind of seal has been broken, said the undying skeleton emperor. The undying skeleton emperor said. This time, it was his subordinates who caused trouble. Just as the demonic well appeared, on the ancient sky burial star, a figure that was emitting a faint golden light came to the entrance of the dark ghost realm. What's going on? There's actually a fluctuation of demonic energy inside. The golden goddess muttered to herself. She was looking at the pitch-black whirlpool in front of her. She was very careful, as she didn't want to enter an unknown place rashly. Because no one knew what was inside the pitch-black whirlpool. Humans. There are still humans on this star. At this moment, a weak divine sense was transmitted from the demonic well in the divine palace. A wave of demonic energy began to spread in all directions from the demonic well. It's another guy who hasn't died after being sealed for countless years. Gu Fei muttered to himself. His eyes emitted a dazzling divine light. A powerful battle intent spread from his body, and chaotic spiritual chi surged in his body. The three undying emperors standing next to Gu Fei could feel the extremely powerful pressure from Gu Fei. They almost couldn't stand up straight. They were all extremely shocked. This is the true strength of our master. Especially the divine crocodile. At this moment, it realized how powerful and terrifying Gu Fei was. In front of Gu Fei, it was actually not much stronger than an ant. Human, you've angered me. A divine sense fluctuation was transmitted from the demonic well. I'm not just angering you. I'm going to kill you. Gu Fei said disdainfully. It was just a great demon that hadn't died yet. There was nothing to be afraid of. Such an existence could no longer threaten him. Human, you're courting death. The existence in the demonic well seemed to be completely enraged by Gu Fei. Then, three demonic shadows rushed out of the demonic chi and directly pounced on Gu Fei. Gu Fei stood in the void. When he saw the three demonic shadows, he couldn't help but frown. They were three undying emperors that had been demonized. The originally sparkling white bones had already turned black, and there were even some areas on the bones that had blackish-brown muscles and skin. In particular, the skull had actually grown a sinister and terrifying demonic face. There were many sharp black bone spikes on the bodies of the demonic creatures. Their bodies were full of things that could kill people. Of course, this was only for ordinary humans. With Gu Fei's cultivation, his body was extremely strong. Even if he stood still, the three demonic creatures that were armed to the teeth wouldn't be able to hurt him. When the three demonic creatures were less than 10 zhang away from Gu Fei, he threw a punch. Pfft. In the next moment, the three demonic creatures exploded in the void, turning into a cloud of black blood mist that dissipated in the void. With just a punch, the three hideous and terrifying demonic creatures were instantly killed. Seeing this scene, the three undying emperors couldn't help but be shocked. Their lord's cultivation seemed to have improved a lot. Good, you really have some ability. No wonder you dared to ignore this demon. The divine sense fluctuation of the ferocious demon came from the demonic well. At this time, the divine sense fluctuation of the demon was much stronger than before. Let me break the demonic well and drag you out. I want to see what you are. Gu Fei took a step forward and instantly broke through the layers of demonic qi. He arrived above the demonic well and saw a pair of blood-red eyes instantly disappear. Roar! Chapter 2135. The demonic creatures near the demonic well were incomparably ferocious. Their bodies were covered in black spikes, and their blood-red eyes shone with a terrifying light. Black liquid flowed out of their mouths, looking extremely disgusting. Roar! Seeing Gu Fei appear above the demonic well, the dozens of demonic creatures immediately pounced towards Gu Fei, wanting to tear Gu Fei to shreds and swallow him alive. Humph! Gu Fei ignored these demonic creatures. With a thought, a chaotic aura surged out of his body, enveloping him within. Bang! 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 The dozens of demonic creatures slammed into the chaotic aura around Gu Fei and were all sent flying. They couldn't even touch the hem of Gu Fei's robes. Roar! The demonic creatures roared. These demonic creatures did not have much intelligence, and were just lowly killing tools. They were enslaved by the demons and slaughtered all living beings. If you don't dare, then come out and fight. Gu Fei stood proudly in the air above the demonic well. He was not affected by the demonic aura emanating from the demonic well at all. He was extremely powerful. Damn it! An intense spiritual will rippled out from the demonic well. Two beams of blood-red light appeared in the depths of the demonic well, and a powerful demonic aura surged out. Human, you deserve to die! The demonic creature in the demonic well roared. Cowardly as a mouse. Seems like I've overestimated you, Gu Fei said in disdain. Clang! At this moment, a metallic sound rang out from the depths of the demonic well. A black beam of light broke through the layers of demonic aura, shooting out from the depths of the demonic well towards Gu Fei. This is... Gu Fei reached out with his right hand and pressed down. Rumble! The space beneath his palm shook, and a series of black spatial cracks appeared. Like black lightning, they spread out in all directions. Boom! The black light directly collided with Gu Fei's right hand. The powerful impact caused the void above the demonic well to be annihilated, and the dozens of demonic creatures were immediately affected. All of them were crushed into black blood mist by the mighty power of destruction, and their bodies and souls were destroyed. A black demonic arrow shattered under Gu Fei's palm, and the powerful demonic aura forced Gu Fei to retreat. Roar! An earth-shattering roar came from the Devil's Well. Boundless demonic she rushed out of the Devil's Well, and a huge demonic figure appeared above the Devil's Well. Kill! The demonic figure was tens of thousands of zhang tall, its head reaching the sky and its feet on the ground. It stretched out its hand and grabbed at Gu Fei. A shocking killing intent spread out, causing the surrounding temperature to drop rapidly. The three undying emperors, who were far away, were extremely shocked. They hurriedly brought their subordinates and retreated far away, lest they were affected by the battle. World of Dharma! Seeing this, Gu Fei could not help but be moved. This was not the real body of the great demon in the demonic well, but a supreme magic. Although this huge demonic figure was not the real body of the demon, this world of Dharma could exert most of the power of the original body, and it was no different from the real body. I have a Dharma, and so do I. Gu Fei's body flickered and a huge silhouette charged out from his body. It instantly grew to a height of 10,000 feet, like the innate gods of ancient myths and legends. The energy ripples emanating from the huge Dharma image caused the entire world to tremble. This part of the world seemed to be unable to accommodate his powerful Dharma. This huge figure could shatter the void with a raise of its hand and a kick. Boom! Two huge hands fiercely collided, like two innate gods and demons were fighting. The destructive power spread in all directions, and the entire ruins of the divine palace shook. Countless pavilions and palaces turned into ashes. The three undying emperors were shocked when they saw this scene from afar. Fortunately, they had retreated. Otherwise, they would be in trouble now. Gu Fei unleashed his supreme Dharma form and clashed with the demonic figure. Everything in its path was crushed, but they both managed to avoid the super seal. I didn't expect that person to have such a trump card. An intense spiritual fluctuation came from the devil's well. The fiendish devil seemed to know something, but it didn't say anything. Soon, Gu Fei's Dharma gained the upper hand, and the tens of thousands of feet tall demonic figure was almost shattered. Roar! Gu Fei's Dharma finally caught the demonic figure, and with a roar, it twisted the head of the demonic figure off. The demonic figure then disappeared into the void. The demon in the demonic well did not expect Gu Fei to be this strong, and suffered a huge loss. The Dharma was formed from one's own strength. Once the Dharma was destroyed, one would suffer a huge impact as well. Bam! Gu Fei did not say anything as he punched out at the demonic well. The strong fist force caused the demonic well to vibrate, and a series of demonic marks appeared on the walls of the demonic well. Boom! Just at this moment, the entire demonic well exploded, and a demonic figure rushed out from the depths of the ground. A boundless demonic aura enveloped half the sky. What? When Gu Fei saw the demon, he could not help but be taken aback. It was a young man dressed in black with a pale face. The eyes of this young man were bloodshot, as though they were connected to an endless sea of blood. Human, you've pissed me off. The consequences will be severe. A divine will was transmitted from the young demon cultivator. The blood-red light in the young demon cultivator's eyes instantly lit up. Then, the demon cultivator disappeared on the spot. Swoosh. At the same time, Gu Fei's figure disappeared from where he was as well. Bam! By the time Gu Fei and the black-robed demonic man appeared once more, the both of them were already high up in the sky. Both of their fists had slammed together. Swoosh. Both of them disappeared at the same time. Boom! By the time both of them appeared once more, their knees had slammed together fiercely, giving off a dull thud before disappearing once more. The two powerful beings were moving rapidly in the sky. Most people would not be able to catch a glimpse of their figures. Even the three undying emperors could not catch a glimpse of their figures. Good fella. To think that your physical body would be able to fight against my true demon body. This is unimaginable. The black-robed demonic man remarked. It was only now that he knew that this human truly had the strength to fight against him. Of course, if not for the fact that he had been sealed in the demonic well for countless of years, this human would definitely not be a match for him. The black-robed demonic man had been sealed in the demonic well for countless of years, and his source of demonic power was almost depleted completely. However, this demon was still extremely strong, and could fight against Gu Fei endlessly. Chapter 2136. Who is that? He can actually fight with Gu Fei endlessly. A figure stood quietly in the void in the distance. Golden Tao patterns appeared on her body from time to time. The golden goddess had finally entered this world. Rumble! Above the ruins, a pavilion exploded. Two figures rushed out and separated in an instant. They stood high up in the sky and faced each other. Good. You are also a character. The demon in black couldn't help but be surprised by the combat strength that Gu Fei had displayed. It should be known that even though his demonic source energy had been mostly consumed by the power of the seal, he was still not someone that ordinary people could fight against. Ancient demons are just SOSO. Gu Fei stared at the pale young man in black and said indifferently. His opponent's demonic body was extremely strong, and could fight against Gu Fei's martial body. If this great demon was at his peak, Gu Fei would have already turned around and left. Humph! How arrogant! You should be the successor of the martial ancestor. However, even the direct disciple of the martial ancestor wouldn't dare to talk to me like this. The young man in black said coldly. Black demonic aura circled around his body. A wave of demonic aura was emitted from his body. This was the power of the true demon. Only the purest demons would have such demonic aura. Wherever such demons went, they could turn the area into a demonic domain. The demonic aura of the true demon wasn't something that ordinary creatures could resist. This demonic aura would trigger the inner demons in the creatures' hearts and turn them into demons. As expected of an old antique who can't die. Gu Fei was secretly shocked when he heard this. This great demon had a strong background. He actually met the direct disciple of the martial ancestor. This was something that could only happen in ancient times. It should be known that the direct disciple of the martial ancestor had disappeared after the ancient times were destroyed. Countless years had passed and no direct disciple of the martial ancestor had ever appeared in the world. Some people said that the direct disciple of the martial ancestor had already died in that shocking calamity. However, some people said that the direct disciple of the martial ancestor would reappear in the world. The consequences of angering me are very serious, the young man in black said. His blood-red eyes lit up as well. There were no pupils in his eyes, only a sea of blood. It was as though his eyes were connected to a sea of blood and there were blood-red waves roiling within it. TSK, who's afraid of who? If you could kill me, you would have done so earlier. You definitely wouldn't have waited until now. You just want to buy time to recover your strength, right? Gu Fei saw through the black-robed young man's intentions at a glance. It had been a long time since he had bathed in the hot blood of an expert. It was the same for Gu Fei. In the face of such a powerful, ferocious demon, his battle blood gradually boiled. Come on! The black-robed young man grinned, revealing his white teeth. From his appearance, he looked just like a human. However, the true demon aura that the black-robed young man exuded was something that humans did not have. Buzz! Just as the two experts were about to attack again, a powerful wave suddenly came from the depths of the God Palace. The void rippled like water. What's going on? Everyone was shocked. Gu Fei seemed to have thought of something. He quickly used his 8 steps extreme speed and rushed in the direction of the mountain and river cauldron. This battle is not over yet. Where are you going? The black-robed young man shouted and turned into a black shadow, chasing after Gu Fei. The demon's escape technique was also very powerful. The black-robed young man had mastered a movement technique that was almost comparable to the 8 desolation steps. His speed was extremely fast. Swoosh! Just as Gu Fei and the black-robed young man disappeared into the darkness, a faint golden figure also rushed into the depths of the God Palace ruins. The golden goddess chased after it. He did not want to miss a battle of this level. This is Chapter 2137. Gu Fei and the black-robed great demon rushed into the depths of the palace ruins. The golden goddess followed closely behind. The 3 undying kings and the divine crocodile were extremely shocked. They didn't go in to watch the battle. After all, a battle of this level was beyond what they could handle. Gu Fei and the great demon only needed to release a trace of their power to kill them countless times over. A battle of this level would be dangerous even if they were watching from afar. The 3 undying kings and the divine crocodile decided to leave the dark ghost realm first. Therefore, the 3 undying kings led the undead army and retreated to the entrance of the dark ghost realm. Buzz! At that moment, the mountain and river cauldron vibrated. The supreme skull in the mountain and river cauldron emitted a dazzling divine light. The supreme great Tao seal on the skull had yet to dissipate. Strand after strand of supreme Tao markings appeared on the skull and interweaved into a profound and ancient ball. It drew upon the power of the supreme great Tao, and it actually wanted to seal the incomparably powerful life brand within the skull within the skull. What's going on? Gu Fei rushed over from afar. He couldn't sense the situation of the avatar in the supreme skull at all. The mountain and river cauldron of the 9 skies and 10 lands. At that moment, the black-robed great demon arrived behind Gu Fei. When he saw the ancient cauldron surrounded by primordial chaos chi in front of Gu Fei, he was extremely shocked. In the world of cultivation, this divine cauldron had existed for too long. Since the mythological era, there were already some records about this ancient cauldron. Haha, I can wear out iron shoes in fruitless search, only to find it by chance. After the black-robed great demon recovered from his shock, he couldn't help but laugh. The legendary mountain and river cauldron had actually appeared in this place. He was extremely surprised. It should be known that in the untainted world, countless people wanted this ancient cauldron. Even the Supreme was no exception. However, he had never heard of anyone obtaining the mountain and river cauldron. How can this be? Gu Fei couldn't help being shocked to see such a change in the Sovereign Skull. The Sovereign Skull's sovereign energy had actually sealed all the life imprints inside. This ancient cauldron is mine! Just at this moment, the black-robed demon could no longer sit still. He pounced towards Gu Fei. His devilish chi surged as his devilish aura spread out. Preposterous! Gu Fei was enraged. At this moment, this black-robed demon was really asking for a beating. Bang! Without any hesitation, Gu Fei turned around and punched at the black-robed great demon. The powerful punch caused the void in front of his fist to collapse. Boom! With a muffled sound, the black-clothed great demon also threw a punch, which collided fiercely with Gu Fei's fist. Demonic runes appeared on his fist, condensing the power of the great Tao of demonic Tao. The black-robed great demon was forced back by Gu Fei's punch. As for Gu Fei, he didn't have it easy either. He staggered back 5 to 6 steps before he managed to dissipate the power from the fist. If you want the mountain and river cauldron, we'll have to see if you have the capabilities. Gu Fei stared at the black-robed demon and said calmly. Within his eyes there was a chaotic light flashing. It was as though a chaotic world was evolving in his eyes. There was nothing more to say. The black-robed demon executed his demonic arts once more. He struck out with the second extreme break of the Devil Prison's 3 extreme breaks towards Gu Fei. A peerless amount of demonic energy burst forth from his hands. Rumble! The ground was sinking. A number of half-ruined pavilions were destroyed by the destructive energy, turning into dust and disappearing from the world. The entire God Palace ruins shook. 8 killing steps! Gu Fei bellowed as he took the second step. Destructive energy condensed beneath his feet, as though a part of the void was collapsing beneath his feet. Boom! Gu Fei's 8 killing steps clashed against the black-robed demon's second extreme break of the Devil Prison's 3 extreme breaks. This time, Gu Fei wasn't forced back. The same was true for the black-robed demon. The 2 experts moved through the void so quickly that their figures couldn't be seen. Gu Fei and the black-robed demon were evenly matched. It wasn't easy to determine who would win in a short time. The mountain and river cauldron! The golden goddess, who was hidden in the distance, couldn't help but be shocked. The ancient cauldron in front of her was a supreme divine weapon that could suppress the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It was obvious that this mountain and river cauldron belonged to Gu Fei. The golden goddess didn't take advantage of the battle between Gu Fei and the fiendish demon to take the mountain and river cauldron. This was because she knew that it was impossible for her to take the cauldron with her own strength. Chaotic reversal! Gu Fei's voice came from the sky. Then, the black-robed demon's killing arts were reversed. His own killing arts were now attacking him. This was definitely not a good thing. Bang! Boom! The sudden change caused the black-robed demon to panic. He was punched several times in a row. His face was bruised, and these punches were from his own hands. How is this possible? The black-robed demon was shocked. His opponent could actually reverse his attacks. This art was very wondrous and made him almost invincible. Bang! Gu Fei took advantage of the moment when the black-robed great demon's defense was full of openings and ruthlessly kicked the black-robed great demon's waist, causing the great demon to fall to the side. A stream of black blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth, shocking and angering him. The legendary 9 secrets of the immortal Tao? The black-robed demon was very knowledgeable. He recognized the great art that Gu Fei had used. This great art could reverse all his opponent's attacks, causing his opponent to be injured by his own strength. Kill! At this moment, Gu Fei charged over again. Swish! Just as the black-robed demon was about to meet him, Gu Fei's figure suddenly blurred. Then, 3 Gu Feis appeared in front of the black-robed demon. This is... The black-robed demon's shock was no small matter. There were 3 Gu phase. Each Gu phase might be the real one. Each Gu phase emitted an incomparably powerful aura. This made the black-robed demon feel a great threat. Bang! The charging Gu Fei directly punched at the black-robed demon. As for the other 2 Gu Feis, one used the chaotic reversal secret art, while the other used the 8 steps 8 kills grand art. They attacked the black-robed demon at the same time. 3 pure ones. Chapter 2138. In the back mountains of the Taishan sect, there was a quiet and secluded place. There were trees, flowers, birds, and insects. Next to a gravel path, there was a boulder as tall as a person. On top of the boulder, a young man in a white robe was sitting cross-legged, cultivating. The young man's body was surrounded by spiritual energy. As he breathed in and out, the spiritual energy that gathered expanded and shrank, following a mysterious pattern and gathering toward the young man's dantian. The young man's name was Gu Fei, and he was a disciple of the younger generation of the Taishan sect. The Taishan sect was one of the 3 major sects on the Tinglong continent. It had a long history and was an ancient sect. Gu Fei was an orphan. When he was 8 years old, his master, Wan Xianqing, had left the mountain to travel and brought him back to the Taishan sect to be accepted as a disciple. Although he was in the Dao sect, what Gu Fei cultivated was not a Dao technique, but a technique called Ancient Body Refining Technique. Body Refining Technique, as the name suggested, was a technique that used one's own body as the foundation. It was a technique that defied the natural order and cultivated the body. The techniques described in the technique were enough to make one's body sacred, and the ancient battle techniques could kill immortals and gods. However, once this ancient secret technique was cultivated, it was extremely difficult. Even if one failed to cultivate it, they could no longer change to another. Sitting cross-legged on the boulder with his eyes closed, Gu Fei operated the ancient body refining technique, absorbing the spiritual energy from all directions into his dantian, and accumulating it. When the spiritual energy in his dantian was compressed and accumulated to a certain extent, he guided the spiritual energy in his dantian to attack the meridians of the body. Wave after wave of spiritual energy gathered, whether it was the surrounding plant essence or the sun essence and moon essence floating in the void. Gu Fei did not reject any of them. He absorbed them into his dantian like rivers running into the sea. Vaguely, one could see streaks of light that were as fine as green silk lingering around his body. As time went by, Gu Fei's dantian began to emit a 7-colored glow. It was the glow emitted by the highly condensed spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Gathering qi, impacting, gathering qi, impacting. Sometimes strong, sometimes weak, waves of spiritual qi spread out from Gu Fei's body. As it cycled back and forth, streams of 7-colored spiritual qi surged from Gu Fei's dantian, like a river bursting through a dam, and impacted the meridians in his body that had not yet been opened. Every impact was like a 1,000-pound hammer ruthlessly bombarding Gu Fei's body. Every impact caused a trace of pain to appear on his face. Powerful spiritual energy rushed through his meridians, bringing with it a tearing pain. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth that erupted from his dantian was extremely violent, making his meridians feel as if they were being cut by countless sharp knives. He gritted his teeth and was sweating profusely. His hair was stuck to his face by the sweat, and his white shirt was soaked and stuck to his body. He was experiencing the second threshold of the ancient body refining technique, meridian opening. Meridian opening was to gather the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, condense it in the dantian, and then impact the aperture acupoints above the meridians, making the meridians unobstructed. In this way, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth could travel along the meridians of the whole body to every inch of muscle and every bone of the body, thus achieving the purpose of refining the muscles, bones, flesh and blood, and making the body sublimate and transform. The ancient body refining technique was a heaven-defying cultivation technique. Without a rock-like willpower and unremitting hard work, it was impossible to even cross the first threshold of the qi gathering. There were countless cultivation systems in the Tinglong continent, but the realms of the world's cultivators could be divided into 5 major realms: self-awakening, transcending mortality, royal void, demigod, and saint. Each realm was further divided into 9 heavens, implying the meaning of the 9-5 supremacy. The ancient body refining technique had 4 checkpoints in the self-awakening realm. The first step was the qi gathering. Only by mastering the qi gathering ability could Gu Fei proceed to the next step of the meridian opening. After the meridian opening was the tendon's transformation. After the tendon's transformation had reached the advanced level, it was the bone forging technique. When the bone forging technique reached the advanced level, it was the time for the body to transform. Once the transformation was successful, Gu Fei could break through the shackles of cultivation and advance to the transcending mortality realm. The spiritual energy gathered is still not strong enough. Failure after failure brought a terrible pain like death by 1,000 cuts. Gu Fei bit the corner of his mouth until it bled, but he still persisted. The human body has 12 main meridians. I have only opened 2 meridians. Besides the 12 main meridians, there are still 8 extra meridians. When can I open all the meridians in my body and enter the tendon's transformation realm? The difficulty of cultivating the ancient body refining technique was really terrifying. Most of the people who cultivated this technique had an awesome name, but their cultivation progress was extremely slow. It seemed that there was only one ending, and that was, before they could successfully cultivate the ancient body refining technique, these people had already died of old age. The morning cultivation time was about to end. Gu Fei sat the whole morning. Since he opened the second meridian 2 years ago, he had not made any progress. The wall of cultivation was like an insurmountable chasm that spanned across in front of him. Gu Fei was a little disappointed, but he was not discouraged. His character was a bit like his master, Wan Xianqing. They were both stubborn like a bull, the kind of person who would not turn back even after 100 setbacks. Fight! Gu Fei looked up at the sky. There was still enough time for him to break through 1 more meridian. Therefore, he gritted his teeth, his face showed a determined look, and his eyes were incomparably firm. Circulating the technique, the heaven and earth spiritual energy that had not yet dissipated around his body, once again converged. In his dantian, a mass of spiritual energy was slowly rotating, absorbing the spiritual energy that gathered from all directions. A not weak fluctuation of yuan qi was emitted from his body, and various colors of starlight emerged in his dantian. This was the highly compressed heaven and earth spiritual energy, and it was the heaven and earth spiritual energy that had not undergone any transformation. The heaven and earth spiritual energy quickly converged in Gu Fei's dantian. Until Gu Fei felt a swelling pain in his dantian, he fiercely hardened his heart and desperately pushed the highly compressed spiritual energy in his dantian to the 3rd meridian of the 12 standard meridians. The powerful and explosive spiritual energy surged rapidly in Gu Fei's meridians. It was like a torrential flood had suddenly gushed into a small stream. Wherever the spiritual energy passed through, his meridians would rapidly expand, almost bursting from the torrent. Boom! It was as if there was an explosion of thunder in Gu Fei's ears. The torrent that surged out from his dantian fiercely hit the wall of the meridians. Gu Fei's body shook violently. He suddenly opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. His body swayed, and he actually fell from the rock. Under the boulder, in the grass, Gu Fei lay on the ground facing the sky. The corner of his mouth was scarlet, and it was particularly eye-catching. He looked up at the sky, and through the gaps in the leaves, he saw the leisurely drifting clouds of smoke in the sky. Occasionally, a few spirit birds would fly past in the sky. There was no discouragement in his eyes, no frustration, only a somewhat frightening determination. He slowly climbed up from the ground, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and looked in the direction of the mountain in front of him. On the mountain road in the back of the mountain, there were already scattered figures heading toward the front of the mountain. They were disciples of the Taishan sect, like him, who had come to the back of the mountain early to cultivate. On the path, there were 7 or 8 other young disciples. However, when these disciples saw the 3 teenagers who laughed at Gu Fei, their footsteps could not help but speed up a little, as if they wanted to force the 3 teenagers away. Who are you calling trash? Gu Fei suddenly stopped moving, turned around, and roared at the three youths. This roar of his drew the gazes of the nearby fellow disciples over. What's wrong with saying you are trash? Not only are you trash, but your master is also trash, humph. What ancient body refinement technique, what sage body, it is just a garbage, thrown on the ground and no one will pick it up, but you two master and disciple treat garbage as a treasure, your head must have been kicked by a donkey, stupid to the extreme. The leading teenager was suddenly shouted at by Gu Fei, and was stunned for a moment, but immediately like a machine gun, he pointed at Gu Fei's nose and cursed. Chapter 2139. Demons were unscrupulous in their actions. As long as there was a way to improve their strength, demons would use it to the extreme. Devouring other powerful creatures was definitely a shortcut for demons to improve their cultivation. This was also one of the reasons why demons were the greatest enemies of all living beings in the world. You're an excellent blood meal. I can at least recover part of my vitality after devouring you. The ferocious demon stared at Gu Fei. The blood-red light in its eyes shone even brighter. Its powerful divine will spread out in all directions without any scruples. Come on, Gu Fei said. He had no choice but to take this ferocious demon seriously. This was definitely an extremely powerful opponent. If he was not careful, he would be in danger of being killed by the other party. Swoosh! The ferocious demon disappeared on the spot. So fast! Gu Fei was taken aback. In the next moment, he felt a gust of cold wind blowing on his face as a sharp black claw directly grabbed at his face. It was as if three ferocious demons had appeared all of a sudden. Gu Fei's three Taoist bodies were attacked at the same time. This shocked Gu Fei, but he reacted immediately. The three Taoist bodies retreated almost at the same time. Gu Fei had the extreme speed of 8 steps. He only took 1 step back, and the three Taoist bodies were already dozens of miles away in an instant. Their speed was unimaginable. Humph! The ferocious demon sneered and chased after Gu Fei like a shadow. Its pitch-black claw was still going for Gu Fei's face. This guy! Gu Fei couldn't help but be moved. After this fiendish devil transformed into a true devil, its speed was actually comparable to Gu Fei's extreme speed 8 steps. Chaotic reversal. Gu Fei used the 9 secrets of Immortal Path. An unpredictable wave spread from his three Taoist bodies. The void around the three Taoist bodies immediately distorted. The demonic claw that was going for Gu Fei's face was moved to the side by a strange force. This time, the ominous devil was truly shocked. There was actually someone who could move his attack away. This kind of thing had never happened before. Bang! Gu Fei's three Taoist bodies fought back immediately. 2 of the demonic shadows were shattered, but they were not the real ones. Only one of the demonic shadows was the real one. One of Gu Fei's Taoist bodies punched it in the chest and abdomen. The ferocious devil was sent flying thousands of feet away by the punch of Gu Fei's Taoist body. However, this time, Gu Fei's punch did not leave any mark on the ferocious devil's body. Gu Fei's punch was actually unable to injure this ferocious devil in the slightest, and this caused his heart to tremble. Humph, if this is all you've got, then there's no need for you to struggle. The ferocious devil pressed forward, and his voice was extremely cold. His blood-red eyes emitted a kind of crazy evil light. He could not wait to pounce on Gu Fei and swallow him alive. This ferocious devil was very confident. He was very clear about the strength of the true demon body. Even if a sage came, it would not be able to injure his true demon body severely. Although he did not have the invincible cultivation of the past, he still had the strong physique of the past. Just like those sages who sealed themselves, although they did not have the cultivation of the sages, they still had the physical body of the sages. Boasting shamelessly, Gu Fei did not say anything more. Everything would be determined by strength. His three Taoist bodies directly displayed their martial arts combat skills and rushed towards the ferocious devil. Chaos Fist. One of the Taoist bodies directly displayed their strongest combat skills. The Chaos True Power was vast and mighty. The punch that the Taoist body threw out was extremely powerful, and it contained an invincible fist intent. Bang! The ferocious devil was also very straightforward. He also threw out a punch, and the punch that Gu Fei's Taoist body fiercely collided with each other, and a muffled sound was heard. Gu Fei's Taoist body only felt a strong force coming from his opponent's fist. After that, his entire body was sent flying. Gu Fei's Taoist body was shocked that his powerful Taoist body was sent flying. Ascension. Another Taoist body displayed the Ascension secret technique, and the strength of his Taoist body instantly increased by 5 or 6 times. A peerlessly powerful wave spread out from his Taoist body. It was another Chaos Fist. There were no tricks. This Taoist body also threw out a Chaos Fist. This punch was different from the previous one. The strength of this punch was at least 5 times stronger than the previous one. Bang! The ferocious devil also threw out a punch. This time, the ferocious devil was unable to send Gu Fei's Taoist body flying. The two figures retreated at the same time. This attack seemed to be evenly matched. The third Taoist body displayed the primordial soul sword of the Great Path. The purple sword light of the Great Path emitted a strong Wei rhyme. It pierced towards the ferocious devil at an extremely fast speed. Swoosh! Where the sword light passed, a bloody mark was immediately left on the ferocious devil's chest. Black demonic blood flowed out from the wound. The primordial soul sword of the Great Path attracted the power of the Great Path. Even the true demon body would be injured if it was hit by the sword light of the Great Path. Demonic patterns appeared on the ferocious devil's body. The power of the demonic way was mighty, and the wound on the ferocious devil's body was immediately healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. The true demon body is really that strong. Gu Fei could not help but be shocked at this scene. It should be known that the damage caused by the primordial soul sword of the Great Path was an injury of the Great Path. Such an injury was very difficult to heal because the power of the Great Path was attached to the wound. It could only be said that this true demon body was truly unbelievably strong. Roar! It's the 9 secrets of the immortal path again. Did you actually obtain the complete 9 secrets? The ferocious devil roared. The 9 secret techniques created by the Supreme Tao Ancestor were truly heaven-defying. Even the true demon body would be injured, and this made the ferocious devil feel threatened. Kill! Gu Fei's 3 Taoist bodies used the desolate steps at the same time, displaying the extreme speed of 8 steps. They all rushed towards the ferocious devil at the same time. Their murderous auras shook the heavens and the earth, and their formidable power spread out. Bang! The ferocious devil was furious, and it directly sent one of Gu Fei's Taoist bodies flying. However, 2 fists were no match for 4 hands. At the same time that one of Gu Fei's Taoist bodies was sent flying, the ferocious devil's head was also punched heavily by Gu Fei's other Taoist body. This punch caused the fiendish devil to become dizzy and disoriented. Swoosh! At this moment, a beam of violet gold sword light suddenly came down from above, directly cleaving the ferocious devil's head. The ferocious devil only felt a chill on its head. Before it could finish its thought, it knew nothing. Its consciousness sank into darkness, and 2 pieces of its corpse flew to the left and right. The golden goddess, who was watching the battle from afar, was shocked to see this scene. The situation had taken a sudden turn for the worse. The ferocious devil, which had seemed to have the upper hand, had been instantly killed by Gu Fei. What is that thing in his hand? It can actually kill a true demon, the golden goddess muttered to herself. After killing the ferocious devil, Gu Fei's ultimate weapon disappeared in a flash. It was extremely fast, as if it had never appeared in the first place. Chapter 2140. Gu Fei had successfully killed the fiendish demon that had escaped from the well. This scene shocked the golden goddess to the extreme. She couldn't believe it. It should be known that this fiendish demon was extremely powerful. Even though it had been suppressed for countless years and its vitality was damaged, its saint-level physical body was still the real deal. Moreover, this was the body of a true demon. This kind of physique was much stronger than an ordinary saint-level physical body. Even if a real saint attacked, it would be difficult for them to injure the body of a true demon. Gu Fei definitely had a great weapon in his hands. This weapon could easily split the body of a true demon in half. Could it be a supreme divine weapon? The golden goddess was shocked. Rumble! At this moment, the mountain and river cauldron in the distance started shaking. Primordial chaos chi circled above the ancient cauldron. A powerful wave of life came out from the cauldron. It's done! Gu Fei's mind trembled. Inside the ancient cauldron, a supreme skull floated in the internal space of the mountain and river cauldron, emitting endless divine light. A flame-shaped life imprint flickered with the light of life in the glabella of the supreme skull. Supreme Tao patterns faintly appeared on the skull. Supreme Being Tao patterns interweaved, triggering a powerful wave of power, sealing up the Supreme Being skull. When Gu Fei arrived in front of the mountain and river cauldron, the evolution of life in the Supreme Skull had already ended. Gu Fei's clone had successfully destroyed the other powerful life imprints in the Supreme Skull. A figure sat cross-legged in the Supreme Skull. Countless Tao patterns bloomed all over his body. A powerful wave of life spread out from this figure. What's going on? Gu Fei's clone wanted to leave the Supreme Skull, but he discovered that the entire internal space of the skull had been sealed by a force. Damn it! In the internal space of the Supreme Skull, Gu Fei's clone roared angrily. This Supreme Skull was indeed strange. An unknown powerful existence had used the Supreme Skull to set up a trap. What ghost Tao essence? That was just an illusion. Someone was using the Paragon Skull to nurture powerful life seals. Those life seals were constantly being repaired until they became complete life seals. After that, the inextinguishable soul flame within the Supreme Being Skull continued to devour these complete life imprints to strengthen itself. Gu Fei figured out a lot of things that he didn't understand before. The person who set up this trap was really generous. Could it be that the person was actually another Supreme Being? Thinking of this, Gu Fei couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. If this was really the work of a Supreme Being, then it would be extraordinary. The means of a Supreme Being were unimaginable. Rumble! At this moment, the Supreme Skull underwent another change. Countless Supreme Tao runes actually triggered a wisp of the Supreme Sovereign's power, which rushed towards Gu Fei's clone. Gu Fei couldn't help but be shocked. This was like a fattened prey. Since it was fattened, then it should be slaughtered and eaten. Now Gu Fei's clone trapped in the Supreme Skull was like a fattened prey. The person who set up this trap back then was going to slaughter this prey. How dare you! After Gu Fei understood all this, he hurriedly sat in front of the cauldron of mountain and river and guided the power of the cauldron towards the Supreme Skull. You want to plot against me? Humph! Gu Fei used all his strength to guide the power of the cauldron of mountain and river. An illusion of an ancient cauldron appeared above the Supreme Skull and then pressed down on it. Buzz! The Supreme Skull vibrated and Supreme Tao runes appeared. Countless Tao runes intertwined and formed an illusory figure that stood up from the Supreme Skull. Boom! The figure punched upwards and directly hit the cauldron of mountain and river. It actually blocked the illusion of the cauldron. This is... Gu Fei was extremely shocked. The Tao runes on the Supreme Skull could actually evolve into a human figure. This was really shocking to him. What was going on? All this happened in the cauldron of mountain and river. Other than Gu Fei, no one else could sense such a shocking change. This was already beyond Gu Fei's understanding. At this time, he could finally sense an extremely weak soul wave coming from the Supreme Skull. Kill! Inside the Sovereign Skull, Gu Fei's avatar had devoured the other life imprints. His life force was extremely powerful. He directly charged towards the depths of this space. There was a ball of Sovereign's inextinguishable soul fire there. The inextinguishable soul fire was beating and had become very weak. It seemed like it would be extinguished in the next moment. However, just as Gu Fei's clone approached the soul fire suddenly became vigorous and a figure walked out of the soul fire. After waiting for so many years, the opportunity for rebirth has finally appeared. A weak wave of divine will spread out from the figure. This, Gu Fei's clone was truly shocked. He immediately understood that inside the Supreme Skull, there was still a strand of Ji Zun's soul. This strand of Ji Zun's soul must be in a special state. It was completely silent inside the Supreme Skull, which was why he could not sense the existence of this strand of Ji Zun's soul. This is troublesome. Gu Fei's clone couldn't help but feel nervous. Ji Zun's methods were far too heaven-defying. His corpse had already turned into a skeleton, but his soul still did not dissipate and was waiting to be reborn. Your fruit of Wei, I want it. Die. Gu Fei's clone did not hesitate. His opponent was Ji Zun and he did not retreat. He immediately used the heaven-encompassing hand and slapped the figure in front of him. An extremely powerful energy fluctuation spread out, and a huge palm descended from the sky, completely enveloping the mysterious figure under it. To Gu Fei, this strand of Ji Zun's soul was the fruit of Wei. If he could successfully devour this strand of soul, he would obtain a part of Ji Zun's memory. This was very important to Gu Fei. Perhaps he could find a way to become a saint from Ji Zun's memory. Boom! Ji Zun's soul moved. Then, the entire space inside the Supreme Skull began to shake violently. It was as if an unparalleled heavenly beast was awakening inside the skull. Bang! The heaven-encompassing hand that Gu Fei's clone used exploded. Then, a palm pierced through the clone in an instant and sent him flying. He was almost destroyed and suffered a great impact. Too strong. Ji Zun is Ji Zun. Even though he only has a weak strand of soul left, he is still unimaginably strong. Chapter 2141. Gu Fei had barged into a trap set up by Ji. This was something that Gu Fei had never expected. Rumble. Inside the mountain and river cauldron, the primordial chaos chi surged. The silhouette of an ancient cauldron continued to press down on the sovereign's skull. A power that could suppress the heavens erupted. However, the silhouette that was condensed from the sovereign's skull was also extremely powerful. It was able to resist the power of the mountain and river cauldron, which shocked Gu Fei to the extreme. The aura of a supreme sovereign seeped out from the silhouette. If this wasn't happening inside the mountain and river cauldron but in the outside world, the entire dark ghost world would have been destroyed by this sovereign's aura. Even with the suppression of the mountain and river cauldron, Gu Fei, who was sitting cross-legged before the mountain and river cauldron, still felt a great pressure that made his heart palpitate. Even someone as strong as him couldn't resist the aura of a sovereign. It was hard to imagine how powerful a real sovereign would be. You want to be reborn? Unfortunately, you've met me. Thinking that he had been tricked, Gu Fei couldn't help but be shocked and angry. However, he hadn't completely lost yet. Although his opponent was a sovereign, he still had a trump card. The mountain and river cauldron that can suppress the 9 heavens and 10 earths? In the space inside the sovereign's skull, the silhouette that walked out from the sovereign's soul fire sent out a divine sense. The divine sense fluctuated intensely. It was obvious that the silhouette was also extremely shocked. The aura of a sovereign divine tool couldn't be imitated. The divine sense of a sovereign knew that it was inside a sovereign divine cauldron. There was only one ancient cauldron in the world that could be this mystical, the mountain and river cauldron. This was something that the sovereign didn't expect. The appearance of the mountain and river cauldron had changed the entire situation. This kind of change was difficult for even a sovereign to control. At this time, on the Berry Sky ancestral star, the night had already receded. Gu Zhong and the others were looking for traces of Gu Fei. At this moment, they felt an incomparably powerful fluctuation. It's the aura of the mountain and river cauldron. Gu Zhong was overjoyed when he sensed this fluctuation. Then, they rushed towards the source of the fluctuation and disappeared into the yellow sand. What is Gu Fei doing? Could it be that he's in trouble? In the distant sky, the golden goddess didn't dare to approach because the aura coming from the mountain and river cauldron, and the other aura coming from the mountain and river cauldron made her feel very uneasy. At this time, Gu Fei no longer hesitated. He opened his mouth and spat out a flying sword that emitted a purple-gold divine light. That flying sword directly rushed into the mountain and river cauldron. Swoosh! Just as the purple-gold flying sword rushed into the mountain and river cauldron, a ball of divine light wrapped around a heaven blade. It rushed out of Gu Fei's dantian and also entered the mountain and river cauldron. "I'll fight you to the death!" Gu Fei was determined. He used the other two supreme divine weapons, the purple-gold divine sword and the peerless ominous saber. That is, in the distant sky, the eyes of the golden goddess, who had been staring at Gu Fei, lit up. Was that the supreme divine weapon that Gu Fei had used to slay the ferocious demon? Although the purple-gold divine sword and the peerless ominous saber had entered the mountain and river cauldron as soon as they appeared, the golden goddess could still sense that the two divine weapons were extraordinary. Buzz! After the purple-gold divine sword entered the mountain and river cauldron, it immediately let out a buzzing sound. Then, it turned into a purple-gold sword light and arrived at the Supreme Being's skull. Swoosh! Wherever the sword light passed, the figure that could resist the shadow of the mountain and river cauldron was immediately split apart. Boom! Without the figure blocking it, the shadow of the mountain and river cauldron directly suppressed the Supreme Being's skull. The soul fire inside the Supreme Being's skull was pulsating. The figure inside the Supreme Being's skull immediately became dim, as if it could dissipate into the void at any time. Roar! Just as the purple-gold divine sword was about to attack, a roar rang out from the sky. Then, a huge black shadow broke through the layers of obstacles and appeared near the skull. That was a black dragon that was 10,000 zhang long. It released an exceptional vicious might, causing the entire void to tremble. This was the aura of a supreme being. The peerless ominous saber emitted an extremely overbearing and ferocious aura, causing the sovereign divine sense inside the sovereign skull to feel very uneasy. Swoosh! The sovereign spiritual will directly pounce towards Gu Fei's clone. As long as he could devour this guy, his cultivation and strength would increase tremendously. Buzz! With a deafening sound, a sword shadow appeared in the hand of Gu Fei's avatar in the Supreme Being's skull. Then, the shadow of a peerless ominous saber appeared in the other hand of Gu Fei's avatar. He held two sovereign artifacts in his hands, and the waves emitted from the sovereign artifacts shocked the figure. At this moment, Gu Fei had already stabbed out with his sword. The illusory body of the sword contained the incomparably powerful waves of the sovereign artifact. As long as this sword pierced through, even the remnant soul of a sovereign artifact would be turned into ashes. The figure hurriedly dodged. At this moment, the peerless ominous saber slashed down again. Still, the figure did not dare to go against the power of the sovereign artifact and dodged again. "I didn't expect you to have so many sovereign artifacts on you." The figure was extremely shocked. Gu Fei began to activate the power of the sovereign artifact and began to attack the Supreme Being's skull. Swoosh! A beam of purple gold sword light directly fell towards the Supreme Being's skull. Kacha! The divine sword directly struck the Supreme Being's skull, and the sound of bones breaking could be heard. Without any suspense, the Supreme Being's skull was split open by the purple gold divine sword, and a sword mark appeared on the top of the skull. Roar! The black dragon also transformed into a black saber light that traversed thousands of miles and fell towards the Supreme Being's skull. Even though the Tao patterns of the sovereign artifact were intertwined on the skull, the condensed power was unable to contend against a true sovereign artifact. How is this possible? The wisp of divine will that came from the Supreme Being's skull was extremely frightened. The remnant soul of the sovereign artifact had waited for countless years, and what it waited for was not the opportunity to be reborn, but the opportunity to be destroyed. The mountain and river cauldrons suppressed the Supreme Being's skull. Then, the purple gold divine sword and the peerless ominous saber directly slashed towards the Supreme Being's skull, easily breaking through the suppressive power of the Supreme Being's skull. Swoosh! Gu Fei's avatar hurriedly flew up into the sky and rushed out of the supreme martial artist's skull that had been broken open. Then, it rushed out of the mountain and river cauldron and entered the forehead of Gu Fei's main body. Boom! At this moment, a shocking change happened in Gu Fei's Naiwen Palace. The endless life force that the avatar had brought back was all devoured by an immortal cocoon in the Naiwen Palace. Chapter 2142. After devouring the boundless life force, the clone returned to the Naiwen Palace. After the life force was devoured by the immortal Tao fetus, the Tao fetus in the Naiwen Palace immediately changed in a way that shocked even Gu Fei himself. Countless immortal Tao runes appeared on the Tao fetus. The immortal Tao divine body that had been nurturing broke out of its cocoon. Terrifying waves of immortal Tao shot out from between Gu Fei's eyebrows, shocking the heavens. It was as if a natural-born saint had appeared between the heavens and earth. Whoosh! A figure walked out from between Gu Fei's eyebrows and entered the cauldron of mountains and rivers. Die! The immortal Tao divine body nurtured by the nascent divinity and Tao fetus was extremely powerful. It attacked the skull that was sealed by the power of the cauldron of mountains and rivers. The immortal Tao divine body stretched out its hand. The violet gold sword and the peerless saber immediately flew back to it and landed in its hands. Without any suspense, the immortal Tao divine body's strength reached an unimaginable level. It cleaved the almost shattered skull in half with a single strike. Divine snatch! Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine physique let out a roar, and an unfathomable force immediately rushed out from the center of his brows and instantly spread out. A ball of soul fire flew out from the broken skull of the Supreme Master. It wanted to escape, but it was inside the space of the mountain and river cauldron. Even a wisp of the divine sense of a Supreme Master couldn't escape. Buzz! The space shook. A pitch-black vortex appeared between the eyebrows of Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body. A heaven-devouring power seeped out from the vortex and swallowed the ball of soul fire. The soul fire had nowhere to go. In the end, it was devoured by Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body. Gu Fei successfully obtained a memory belonging to the sovereign. I see. Gu Fei knew of a method that could allow him to evade the destructive power of the unseen world. The means of a Ji Zun was truly unbelievable. He could even grasp the method to resist that kind of power. However, Ji Zun's divine sense did not have any memory of how the destructive force had appeared. The moment Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine physique devoured Sovereign's extremely weak soul fire, the immortal divinity on the Sovereign's skull rapidly disappeared. Very soon, the skull completely lost its divinity and crumbled into dust. It disappeared into the void and no longer existed. After destroying the skull, Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body used a great technique to seal itself. The immortal Tao divine body's powerful aura was immediately retracted. It sealed itself to avoid the destructive power so that Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body wouldn't trigger that terrifying power. The immortal Tao divine body born from Gu Fei's nascent spirit Tao embryo wasn't a body of flesh and blood. It was a different kind of life form, between the flesh and nascent spirit. However, this wasn't a bad thing for Gu Fei, because there was still an immortal Venerable's body suppressed in the mountain and river cauldron. It was the body of immortal Venerable Qilin in Buzhou Ancestral Star. Gu Fei felt that his decision to suppress immortal Venerable Qilin in the mountain and river cauldron was really correct. This was the body of an immortal Venerable. This immortal Venerable's body was simply specially prepared for Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body. Gu Fei didn't hesitate. He directly used one of the 9 secrets of immortal Tao, the God-seizing secret technique, to enter immortal Venerable Qilin's Naiwen Palace and refine his spirit soul. Immortal Venerable Qilin had lived for countless years, so his soul and memories were extremely rich. Even though Gu Fei's immortal Tao divine body was extremely strong, this huge amount of information almost burst his sea of consciousness. Time passed by, and countless Tao patterns appeared on immortal Venerable Qilin's body. After 3 days and 3 nights, immortal Venerable Qilin's body gradually calmed down. Gu Fei used the God-seizing secret technique to seize immortal Venerable Qilin's immortal Venerable Tao fruit. His immortal Tao divine body successfully fused with immortal Venerable Qilin's body. This was a true clone. Gu Fei's clone was extremely strong, and the immortal Venerable's body could directly compete with the divine artifact. During these 3 days, many figures appeared around Gu Fei, but no one dared to approach him because the ancient cauldron in front of Gu Fei was constantly emitting powerful fluctuations. That was the mountain and river cauldron. The Golden Goddess didn't dare to act rashly. It should be known that a wisp of primordial chaos energy around the cauldron could kill her countless times. This was the terror of the supreme divine cauldron. Gu Zhong and the others also came nearby, but they didn't dare to approach Gu Fei. They just watched from afar. At this time, Gu Zhong and the others had already met up with the three immortal emperors. Boom! While everyone was watching Gu Fei in the mountain and river cauldron, a dull sound of impact came from the depths of the palace ruins. What's that? Everyone was shocked. Could it be that there was something suppressed in the depths of this divine palace? Swoosh! The golden goddess was the first to act. She directly rushed into the depths of the palace ruins and arrived in front of the super-sealing grand array. The golden goddess's eyes were extremely sinister. She came from the gold family, which was a supreme family. Her knowledge wasn't something ordinary people could compare to. She could see that the area in front of her was extraordinary, so she didn't dare to enter rashly. This aura. It's really extravagant. The golden goddess was extremely shocked when she sensed the aura coming from the huge bones inserted into the ground in front of her. This was a super-sealing grand array set up by the bones of a supreme being. The unknown existence that was suppressed by the super seal began to attack the super seal again after a few days of silence. Bang! There was another dull sound. The golden goddess could feel the fluctuation coming from under her feet. He didn't leave. She found a place to sit down. At this time, the fluctuation coming from Gu Fei's mountain and river cauldron had completely disappeared. A peerlessly powerful figure shrouded in treasure light jumped out of the mountain and river cauldron. Gu Fei's avatar had already sealed itself. As long as the seal wasn't removed, the destructive force would never appear. Of course, if it really sensed the force, the immortal Venerable's Tao body would be destroyed by that force. Gu Fei wouldn't let that happen. Gu Fei used a secret technique to place 4 seals on the immortal Venerable's Tao body, completely suppressing the immortal Venerable's power. Chapter 2143. Gu Fei didn't touch the super seal. One should know that the power of a formation set up by the sovereign bone was absolutely unimaginable, even if he had just obtained an immortal venerable body. Even an immortal venerable body was nothing in the face of this super seal. Gu Zhong and the others didn't enter the ruins of the divine palace. With their current cultivation base, it was impossible for them to get close to the super seal. The wisp of qi emanating from the sovereign bone wasn't something they could withstand. Gu Fei waited for a few months. During this time, he sensed the presence of the golden goddess, but he had no intention of going to see her. In these few months, the unknown existence in the super seal would attack the seal every few days, trying to break the seal and rush out. However, this super seal was too powerful. It was set up by the sovereign bone. Perhaps only a sovereign could use such a method. Although the existence suppressed by the super seal was extremely powerful, it couldn't break the seal. In the end, Gu Fei left the place and brought Gu Zhong and the others out of the dark ghost world. Then, they returned to the ancient city on the burial sky planet. At this time, the entire ancient planet was shrouded in darkness again. However, the number of ghosts in the darkness had decreased a lot. Very few powerful ghosts appeared. Master, are we going to leave this place and continue our journey? Gu Zhong asked. Yes. Gu Fei nodded. There was no reason for them to stay on the burial sky planet anymore. The super seal in the dark ghost world wasn't something he could touch now. Then, Gu Fei put the 3 immortal emperors and their undead army into his inner world. The rest of them boarded the teleportation formation. Gu Fei activated the teleportation formation. The formation runes on the formation lit up immediately. Divine energy turned into a ball of divine light that enveloped Gu Fei and the others. Swoosh! With a flash of divine light, the void trembled. Gu Fei and the others disappeared from the teleportation formation. As soon as Gu Fei and the others left, the formation runes on the teleportation formation lit up again. Shwa! A ball of divine light appeared on the teleportation platform. When the divine light dissipated, 2 figures appeared on the teleportation platform. It was a man and a woman. The man had a dignified appearance, while the woman was full of spirit. A trace of craftiness could be seen in her big eyes. You guys are here too. At this moment, a figure walked out from the darkness outside the city. Golden Goddess. The man and woman walked down from the teleportation platform. Ziyun Xiao, the two of you siblings are really slow. The Golden Goddess walked over. She had been guarding the super array in the depths of the Divine Palace ruins for several months. At this time, she also knew that the existence in the seal would not be able to break through the seal in a short time. In that case, there was no need for her to stay on this desolate ancient planet. Humph, you still have the nerve to say that? You caused this trouble yourself, yet you want us to shoulder it. Truly despicable, Ziyun said angrily. It turned out that Ziyun Xiao and his sister had only come to the ancient burial sky star now because they had been trapped in a dangerous place and had struggled to get out. The person who had led them into a dangerous place was the Golden Goddess. You can only blame yourselves for being too careless. Gu Fei has just left, so I'll be leaving too. You two can have fun here. The Golden Goddess boarded the teleportation platform, activated it, and directly teleported away. Gu Fei. Ziyun Xiao and his sister were stunned when they heard the name. That despicable guy just left. Big brother, let's go after him quickly, Ziyun said excitedly. During the few months that they had been trapped in the danger zone, they had brushed shoulders with death every day. In that extreme environment, their powers had increased very quickly. Now that the siblings had joined forces, they believed that they could fight against Gu Fei. However, what they did not know was that Gu Fei was also improving. Moreover, Gu Fei's primordial spirit had already nurtured the immortal Dao divine body. The immortal Dao divine body had merged with the immortal Venerate's physical body and seized the immortal Venerate's Dao fruit. Ziyun Xiao and his sister had no idea about any of this. Let's go after him. Ziyun Xiao was also very tempted. Wasn't his goal on the ancient road of the human race to defeat Gu Fei? Let's go. Without hesitation, Ziyun Xiao and his sister stepped onto the teleportation portal and activated it. They continued on the ancient road of the human tribe, heading towards their next destination. While the Z siblings were chasing after Gu Fei and the others had already arrived at the second stage of the human tribe's ancient road. When Gu Fei's group arrived at the second trial, they couldn't help but be shocked by the scene in front of them. There were corpses floating around them. They were actually in ruins. Broken stones, splattered mud, broken divine weapons, and badly mutilated corpses. This was definitely a tragic battlefield. What's going on? Could it be that the human race's second trial has already been destroyed? Everyone was extremely shocked. The teleportation platform under their feet was still intact and floating in the air. Let's go. Gu Fei took the lead and rushed out. The rest hurriedly followed. After a while, they finally rushed out of the wreckage. They arrived high up in the sky and looked down at the ruins below. An ancient city has been destroyed. The ruins below them were formed when an ancient city was destroyed. There were corpses, broken pieces, and countless intact or broken bricks. Countless fragments shot out in all directions. With a single glance, one could tell that an ancient city had been destroyed by someone. No one in the ancient city was spared, and all of them were killed. Such a method was ruthless to the extreme. It was truly unimaginable. All of you, go and investigate carefully. Find out who destroyed the second stage of the human race's ancient road, Gu Fei said solemnly. Could it be that this fellow wanted to destroy the human race's ancient road? If that was the case, it would be very dangerous. Gu Zhong and the rest dispersed and entered the ruins below, carefully searching for clues. Very quickly, they found something. It was a broken black spear. The spear was pitch black and there were demonic runes inscribed on it. An extremely obscure fluctuation was emitted from the broken spear. It's the demons. Gu Fei couldn't believe it. The demons had actually extended their hands to the human race's ancient road. Damn it. Chapter 2144. The second stage of the human race was destroyed by the demons. The starry sky was filled with debris, and there were even some broken bones floating in the air. The ruins covered a radius of nearly 100 miles. It seems to have happened recently. The iron-blood Taoist entered the ruins to search carefully, and said to Gu Fei when he came back, "Could it be that there are still people guarding the second stage of the human race in the present era?" Gu Zhong said in disbelief. It had been a long time since anyone had walked the human race's ancient road, and the first stage had long been abandoned. Could it be that the people guarding the second stage had stayed until the present era? "This is a place of life built by humans. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by the hands of the demons." Gu Fei looked at the ruins in front of him, and said in a deep voice, "A place of life built by humans." Everyone couldn't help but be shocked when they heard this, because it was not an easy task to build a place of life. Not even immortals and gods could do it. Only sages who could easily create a world could do it. In other words, the second stage of the human race should be a place of life built by at least sages, where the human race could live and thrive. But now, this place where humans could live and thrive had been destroyed by the devil race. To be able to destroy such a place of life, it was enough to show how powerful the devil race was. Gu Fei and the others carefully searched through the ruins floating in the starry sky. They found that there were corpses of demons in addition to the corpses of humans. There were broken demons scattered in the ruins, and there was also a heart-palpitating demonic aura coming from a few places. All of this indicated that the second stage of the human race was recently destroyed by the demons. "It seems like there was a fierce battle here." The 12 bandits couldn't help but be shocked when they saw this scene. The second stage of the human race was definitely not simple. There must be a peerless expert guarding this place of life. It was not an easy task for the demons to destroy this impregnable place. The demons must have paid a heavy price. "Where did the demons come from?" Zhong Liming said. The demons on Buzhou ancestral star had long been extinct, and these demons that destroyed the second stage of the ancient road of the human race were probably not from Buzhou ancestral star. Of course, the universe was endless. Perhaps somewhere in the universe there was a territory of the demons. Demons had always been the source of chaos in the human realm. This time, the demons had destroyed the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. Could it be that there was something here that the demons had their eyes on? "Don't tell me there isn't a grotto heaven in such a land of life?" The military advisor of the 12 great bandits, Zhuge Liang, said as he waved his 5-colored feather fan. "Grotto heaven." Gu Fei's eyes lit up when he heard this. He then sat down cross-legged in the void and operated the anti-void secret technique. A strange wave spread from his body. Then, his entire body became blurry, as if he was about to fuse with the surrounding space. An aura of the great Tao of heaven and earth surrounded him. "This is..." Gu Zhong and Yao Yu couldn't help but be moved. They knew that their master was using the anti-void secret technique of the 9 secrets of immortal path to sense the pulse of the world. This secret technique allowed Gu Fei to become one with the world. It was as if he had become one with the world, allowing him to capture the slightest pulse of the world. As Gu Fei's personal disciples, Gu Zhong and Yao Yu were naturally taught by Gu Fei. However, it was very difficult to cultivate the anti-void secret technique. Elder Jiao had already awakened the true dragon bloodline in his body and obtained the inheritance of the dragon clan. Elder Jiao focused on the various great techniques of the dragon clan and temporarily put the 9 secrets of immortal path aside. One should know that the inheritance of the dragon clan was the most suitable thing for Elder Jiao. "There really is a hidden grotto heaven." Gu Fei withdrew from the state of anti-void and stood up. He stared at the void 100 miles away, but there was nothing there. Swoosh! Gu Fei took a step and instantly left the ruins, appearing 100 miles away. Everyone looked at each other. They didn't think that Zhuge Liang's seemingly unintentional words would actually come true. There really was a hidden grotto heaven in the nearby void. By the time everyone caught up, Gu Fei had already torn the void apart and stepped into the grotto heaven with a single step. Through the void that Gu Fei had torn apart, everyone saw a world full of vitality. An aura of life blew over, causing everyone to be pleasantly surprised. The void that was torn apart by Gu Fei was gradually mending, and everyone hurriedly rushed in. This is. After everyone entered this abode, they couldn't help but be shocked. What they saw before their eyes was actually a large expanse of mountain ridges, and numerous mountain ridges stretched for hundreds of kilometers. Everywhere that entered their eyes, they were covered in a verdant and exuberant aura of life. The roars of ferocious beasts could be heard from time to time in the mountain ridges. Where spiritual chi gathered in the mountain ridges, the shadows of some pavilions could be seen. Dang! Suddenly, a bell rang from the mountains ahead. The melodious sound of the bell spread across the entire mountain. The moment the bell rang, all kinds of ferocious beasts in the mountain hid themselves. What's going on? Gu Zhong and the rest looked at each other. Could it be that the people here have discovered our arrival? Iron Blood Taoist's eyes shot out a ray of light. These people are very alert, Gu Fei said. At this moment, he was standing on top of a small mountain and gazing at the mountain ridge in front of him. After the bell rang, 3 figures immediately rushed out from the mountain. Bastards of the demons, do you really want to kill us all? A loud shout resounded through the mountains, reverberating through the mountains and not dissipating for a long time. Bastards of the demons! Hearing this, everyone couldn't help but be stunned. Could it be that the people here thought that the demons had chased them here? This grotto heaven was not simple. It was actually 10,000 miles in radius. This grotto heaven was most likely an inner world left behind by a sage. Otherwise, how could there be such a scene? Don't be rash. An old man in white robes with a horsetail whisk in his hand said. The 3 of them were extremely fast. In an instant, they came close. These 3 were extremely powerful experts of the human race, especially the old man who was actually a quasi-sage. Behind the old man were 2 middle-aged men with black beards. These 2 men were tall and sturdy with a full beard. Their appearance was rough, giving off a domineering feeling. Who are you guys? Could you be the elites that have stepped onto the ancient road of the human race? The old man in white robes brought the 2 men to the front of Gu Fei's group. The old man was extremely shocked. This was his first time seeing people outside of the grotto heaven. Chapter 2145. There was indeed a mysterious grotto in the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. Even though the land of life in the second stage had been destroyed by the demons, some of them were still lucky enough to hide in the mysterious grotto. Who are you guys? As soon as Gu Fei and the others entered the mysterious grotto, they were immediately discovered by the people here. To think that someone had barged into the grotto. This caused the survivors of the mysterious grotto to be extremely nervous. If the demons had barged in, they would have no choice but to fight the demons with their lives. The mysterious grotto of the second stage of the ancient road of the human race was another land of life. Even though the second stage of the human race had been destroyed, they could still live and reproduce here. We have no ill intentions. On the hill, Gu Fei said calmly. Even though the 3 of them were strong and the white-robed old man leading them was a quasi-sage, they were nothing in Gu Fei's eyes. Could it be that you guys are from the ancestors' land? The white-robed old man sized up Gu Fei and said excitedly. The people guarding the second stage of the human race were from the ancestral star of Buzhou. Even though countless years had passed, the people here still knew that they were from the ancestors' land. Ancestors' land? You guys are talking about the ancestral star of Buzhou. At this moment, Gu Zhong stepped out from behind Gu Fei and said, Yes, our ancestors' land is the ancestral star of life called Buzhou. The white-robed old man was so excited that his voice was trembling. They were the descendants of the immortal soldiers and celestial generals who guarded the second stage of the human race. They longed to return to their ancestors' land. However, the path back had long been cut off. Some of them had returned to the first stage of the human race, but there was no news of them. No one knew what had happened to the first stage. The people of the second stage were unwilling to give up. They invited a few old ancestor-level existences to return to the first stage of the human race. This time, one of the old ancestor-level existences finally returned. It was an old ancestor. To everyone's surprise, this old ancestor had suffered a fatal injury. Less than a month after the old ancestor returned, he died. From this patriarch, the people of the second stage of the ancient road of the human tribe learned a piece of despairing news. The first stage of the ancient road of the human tribe had long been lost. The first stage of the human race's ancient road had undergone a huge change. The human race's ancient road had been severed. Therefore, the people on the second trial of the human race could no longer return to Bujo ancestral star, and could only stay on the second trial of the human race. Not long ago, when the demon race attacked, the old man brought some people to hide in the mysterious grotto heaven. The first stage of the human race's ancient road is no longer dangerous. You guys can return now, Gu Fei said. What? The white-clothed old man and the two strong men behind him were pleasantly surprised. If what these people said was true, then they would be able to return to the ancestral land. Is it true? We can return to the ancestral land now. The old man and the two strong men couldn't help but believe it. However, the facts spoke louder than words. These people couldn't be demons. Since they could come here, then the ancient road of the human race must have been connected. What happened on the second stage of the human race's ancient road? The iron-blood Taoist asked. It's a long story. Since you guys are here, please follow me. As the white-clothed old man spoke, he made an inviting gesture towards Gu Fei before leading the way in front. Gu Fei followed suit. Naturally, Gu Zhong and the others also followed suit. Along the way, Zhuge Liang, who knew a thing or two about the Dao formations, became more and more shocked. The terrain here was very particular. It seemed to be a place where dragons flourished. Dragon, she gathered. In the eyes of mortals, this kind of terrain was incredible. It was a treasure land that could produce emperors. Of course, this kind of terrain was nothing in the eyes of powerful existences. It could only be said that the earth veins here were not simple. Gu Fei and the others were led by the white-clothed old man to the foot of a mountain. This mountain was like a crane among a flock of chickens. There was a teleportation formation at the foot of the mountain. The old man brought Gu Fei and the others through the teleportation formation and returned to a pavilion on the mountain peak. After everyone sat down, the old man told them the reason why the second stage of the human race's ancient road was destroyed. It turned out that the second stage of the human race's ancient road was not simple. It was a place to suppress demons. In the city of the second stage of the human race's ancient road, there was a great sage of demons' corpse sealed. The demons on the Crimson Blood Demon Star somehow found out about this and came to attack the second stage. As a result, a great battle inevitably broke out. Some strong demons came with the strongest demonic weapon among the demons. With a powerful strike, they destroyed the second stage of the human race's ancient road, which had existed for countless years. At the moment when the impregnable pass was destroyed, I really saw a demon corpse fall out, the white-clothed old man said with lingering fear. The white-clothed old man said with a lingering fear in his heart. The city they had lived in for generations had unexpectedly suppressed the corpse of a great sage devil. Just thinking about it made his scalp tingle. That was a great sage of demons' corpse. Chapter 2146. The Scarlet Blood Demon Star looked like a star that had been dyed red by blood. It wasn't big, but it wasn't small either. There wasn't a single blade of grass growing on it. The sand and stones on it were either red or dark red in color. There was a devilish aura that enveloped the entire star. From afar, it looked like the heart of an incomparably ferocious devil. This is the devil that destroyed the second stage of the human race's ancient road and took away the corpse of the great sage demons that was sealed in the second stage. Gu Fei stopped 10,000 miles away from the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. There was definitely an incomparably powerful devil on this star. One must know that the aura emitted by the devil here had already enveloped the entire star. As long as someone barged into the star, the devil on the star would be the first to sense it. Gu Fei didn't want to beat the grass and startle the snake at this moment because he still didn't know the actual situation of the other party. If he were to rush forward recklessly, he would fall into a passive situation. Master! At this time, Gu Zhong and the rest finally caught up. Take a good look at the star in front. Gu Fei glanced at Gu Zhong and the rest and said, This is the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. When Gu Zhong and the rest saw the star, they couldn't help but be incomparably shocked. There was actually such a devil star in this star region. When everyone sensed the demonic aura coming from the Scarlet Star, their expressions changed. The devil on the Scarlet Star wasn't simple. The Demon Lord's aura could already affect the entire planet. It was truly surprising that there was such a powerful Demon Lord on the Red Planet. Master, are we really going to fight against the devil here? Gu Zhong asked. The devil aura here made him feel uneasy. The Scarlet Blood Demon Star was extraordinary. There must be an unimaginable devil entrenched on it. You're afraid, Gu Fei said. His tone was incomparably calm. No one knew what he was feeling right now. Why would I be afraid of these devil bastards? Gu Zhong raised his head and puffed out his chest, a look of disdain on his face. Very well, then go and investigate the devil's actual situation, Gu Fei said. This? Gu Zhong's face immediately collapsed when he heard this. He said to Gu Fei with a sad face, Master, can I not go? What do you think? Gu Fei looked at Gu Zhong and said with a solemn expression, I'll go then. He was really the most despicable. Why did he have to speak up? If he didn't say anything, wouldn't everything have been fine? His intestines were already green with regret. Senior brother, little sister wishes you success. Yao Yu smiled at Gu Zhong. You little brat. Gu Zhong snapped. Then, with a sway of his body, he disappeared before everyone's eyes. His speed was so fast that even the Iron Blood Taoist was shocked. Is the Desolate Steppes really the fastest in the world? Iron Blood Taoist thought. Really, Master? He actually sent me to this godforsaken place where even birds don't shit and turtles don't lay eggs. In a valley on the Scarlet Blood Demon Star, a figure was hiding and carefully sneaking into the valley while the sky was dark. This person was Gu Zhong, who regretted being the most despicable. He had already been in the Scarlet Blood Demon Star for 4 hours. There was no night or day on the star, nor were there any other celestial phenomena. However, he realized that the star would darken every once in a while. Gu Zhong used the anti-void technique to successfully sneak into the Scarlet Star. When he stepped on the Scarlet Star, he felt that this star was different from the others. It was as if this star was alive. He didn't know why such a thought popped up in his mind. This star was very desolate. Flowers and trees were extinct. Even the vitality seemed to have been extinguished. At first glance, all he could see were red stones and sand. However, it wasn't difficult to find traces of demons on this star. Soon Gu Zhong found a place where demons gathered. This place was the valley he was sneaking into. The valley wasn't big, and it was surrounded by mountains on all sides. Demonic chi rose from within, enveloping the entire valley in a layer of dark demonic chi. Gu Zhong cultivated the 9 secrets of immortal Tao. The anti-void technique among the 9 secrets allowed his aura and even fluctuations to be infinitely close to the surrounding void. Of course, if he had the cultivation of his master, Gu Fei, he could directly become one with the world. No one below the sage level would be able to sense his presence. Even though his anti-void technique was only at the initial level, it was enough for him to deal with the current situation. Soon, he snuck into the valley and hid in a pile of rocks. He then carefully looked into the depths of the valley. Gu Zhong couldn't help but be shocked when he saw the situation in the depths of the valley. He saw a large piece of flat land 6 or 7 kilometers in front of him. In the center of the flat land was a platform that was dozens of meters tall. There were more than a dozen fires burning around the platform. A demonic bead that emitted a dark blue demonic light hovered above the platform. The demonic bead was only the size of an adult's fist, but the demonic aura it emitted was extremely powerful. What are these demon bastards trying to do? Gu Zhong couldn't help but feel bewildered when he saw the scene in the valley. Soon, 4 demons dressed in black walked out from the darkness in the depths of the valley. They were 4 human-shaped demons. They were actually carrying a giant black coffin to the bottom of the platform. Then they walked up the stairs in front of the platform, step by step, carrying the giant coffin up to the sky. What the hell? What the demons were doing in the valley was too strange. It made Gu Zhong feel uneasy, especially when he saw the giant black coffin. It seemed like there was a supreme demon slumbering in it. The demonic aura coming from the coffin made Gu Zhong's heart palpitate. Could it be? Gu Zhong couldn't help but be moved when he thought of something. At this moment, the 4 demons in black had already carried the giant black coffin to the platform. They then put the coffin down and stood in 4 different directions on the platform, no longer moving. Soon, another group of demons walked out from the depths of the valley. From the figure of the person in front, it seemed to be a woman. The group of demons were also dressed in black and had cloaks draped over their heads. Their appearances couldn't be seen. The group of demons came to the front of the high platform, and the woman directly ascended the platform. The demons behind her dispersed below the platform. The woman went up to the platform and stood in front of the black coffin. Immediately, a demonic sound that shook one's mind rang out from the platform. This demonic sound seemed to come from the ancient times. It seemed extremely ancient and distant. When the demonic sound entered the ears, even a great emperor like Gu Zhong almost lost himself. It's too terrifying. Gu Zhong's shock was no small matter. This kind of demonic sound had almost broken through his heart's defenses and triggered his heart's devil. Chapter 2147. The huge platform, the black demonic coffin, the mysterious demonic sound. All of this opened Gu Zhong's eyes. He was extremely shocked. What was that demon doing? Was it summoning souls? The demonic sound lingered on the platform. The black-cloaked woman was chanting some kind of ancient scripture. It was a demonic scripture that contained unfathomable demonic power. The mysterious demonic sound caused Gu Zhong to feel great pressure. It could actually disturb his mind, forcing him to be careful when dealing with it. If his heart demons were to be triggered here, he would be in danger of becoming a demon. Gu Zhong did not want to become a demon. Who is it? Just as Gu Zhong was focusing his mind to fight against the demonic sound, he found it difficult to maintain the state of merging his body with the world. The demon in the valley immediately sensed his presence. Damn it! Gu Zhong immediately jumped out from the pile of rocks he was hiding in and turned to flee. Kill! A furious roar rang out from below the platform. The dozen or so black-cloaked demons standing around the platform immediately flew up and chased after Gu Zhong. The demonic sound on the platform did not stop. The demonic patterns that appeared on the black demonic coffin shone with demonic light. The demonic patterns interweaved to form an ancient demonic diagram, triggering the powerful demonic power of the planet. The sky above the valley immediately changed color. The entire world darkened. Blood-colored lightning flashed high up in the sky, wreaking havoc. The demonic power that gathered from all directions all gathered towards the black demonic coffin. The entire demonic coffin was like a bottomless black hole, devouring the demonic chi of the world. Within the black demonic coffin, there seemed to be an unparalleled true demon awakening. The demonic aura coming from the coffin grew stronger and stronger. Rumble! The demonic coffin shook. What's going on? At that moment, in the starry sky tens of thousands of miles away from the crimson blood demon planet, Gu Fei suddenly sensed something. His gaze seemed to pierce through the world, ignoring the distance between them. He looked into the valley on the crimson blood demon planet. Who's spying? An old voice rang out from the darkness in the depths of the valley. When Gu Fei looked into the valley, an old man walked out from the darkness. The old man's body was shrouded in a devilish aura. The devilish aura was somewhat unique, and it would occasionally transform into devilish dragons that bared their fangs and brandished their claws. Old ancestor, why did you come out? On the high platform, the demonic sound had already stopped. At this time, the ancient demonic patterns on the demon coffin had already been completely activated by the demonic sound. It could automatically devour the demonic chi in the surroundings. We're being watched. The old man took a step forward and arrived on the high platform. He held a walking stick in his hand. The walking stick was completely black, and the head of the walking stick was a dragon head. The walking stick was carved with a dragon body, and there was a demonic aura faintly visible on it. The old man's gaze met Gu Fei's in the void, and sparks flew. What? The black-cloaked woman was shocked. She then said, "Didn't we destroy the second stage of the ancient road of the humans? There shouldn't be any other experts around here." That woman felt that this was inconceivable. To be able to alarm the old ancestor, this newcomer was most likely not that simple. And just as Gu Fei and the old man sensed each other's presence, outside the valley, Gu Zhong was being chased by the dozen or so devils for 1,000 miles. "You bunch of devil bastards, chasing so closely. Do you really think that I'm afraid of you?" Gu Zhong suddenly stopped. He turned around and roared at the dozen black-cloaked demons that were chasing him. A powerful aura erupted from his body. Seeing that Gu Zhong had suddenly stopped, the devils couldn't help but be shocked. At the same time, they sensed a powerful aura erupting from Gu Zhong's body. Kill! Without any hesitation, the dozen or so devils immediately attacked Gu Zhong. In an instant, all sorts of devil weapons smashed towards Gu Zhong. One of the devils raised his hand and cast out a devilish net that enveloped the heavens and earth towards Gu Zhong. "Humph, eat my fist." Gu Zhong directly punched out with the golden element fist. His fists were like two golden divine suns, emitting resplendent golden light that illuminated the dark space. Bang! Boom! Sounds of collision rang out unceasingly. Gu Zhong actually used his fists to clash against a dozen or so devil weapons. The powerful fist energy actually sent more than half of the devil weapons flying. Some of them even exploded from a single punch. In the end, Gu Zhong grabbed onto the devilish net with both hands and exerted force, directly tearing a huge hole in the net. How is this possible? All the devils were shocked to the extreme. This human's physical body was actually this strong? How did he manage to cultivate such a strong physical body? These devils didn't know that after Gu Zhong's martial body was tempered by the saint blood, its strength was already close to that of a saint weapon. These devil weapons weren't the devil weapons refined by the devil saint, so it was hard for them to cause any damage to Gu Zhong. Swish! Gu Zhong rushed out from the devilish net and directly pounced towards the devil closest to him. That devil wanted to attack, but Gu Zhong's pounce was simply too fast. Before that devil could react, he was already pinned to the ground. Gotcha! Gu Zhong directly broke the devil's neck. Boom! Just as Gu Fei was about to break the neck of the demon, a ball of demonic flames erupted in front of him before burning towards him. A demon was attacking him. Gu Zhong exerted force with both his legs and pushed off the devil's body. After that, like a divine leopard, he darted out and avoided the devil fire that was coming towards him. He managed to avoid the demonic fire, but the demon whose bones were broken by his feet weren't so lucky. The demonic fire swallowed the demon's body and burned it to ashes in an instant. These devils didn't show any mercy. Even if it was their own people, it was the same. A devil died under the devil fire of his own people. Even his soul couldn't escape. Bang! At this moment, Gu Zhong had already arrived in front of another devil and punched the devil's abdomen. His fist directly penetrated the devil's body and came out from his back. Gu Zhong shook his fist and a powerful force erupted. The devil's body was instantly shattered into millions of pieces. A devil soul wrapped in devil light rushed out from the blood mist. Only when the demon's primordial spirit was caught by Gu Zhong did the other demons regain their senses and attack Gu Zhong. However, it was already too late. No one could save that demon. Boom! A ball of demonic fire descended from the sky, burning towards Gu Zhong. It was as if a black demonic sun had appeared in the sky, and an almighty emperor-level demon general was attacking Gu Zhong. Among the remaining 12 demons, there were 3 almighty emperor-level existences. As for the rest, they were all almighty existences. Such a team of demons would definitely be the main force of the second stage of the human race's ancient road. But now, this team of demons that had once attacked the second stage of the human race's ancient road was in great danger. Gu Zhong's strength had far exceeded their expectations. Gu Zhong chuckled. With a sway of his body, he instantly appeared 100 feet away, dodging the attack of the demonic fire. His speed was so fast that it shocked all the other demons. This guy is pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger. He wants to lure us here and kill us all. Some of the demons came to a realization. Cunning human race. Some demons roared. Kill! The almighty emperor-level demon in the sky roared. As if he had turned into a demonic sun, he pounced down towards Gu Zhong. Black demonic fire raged, enveloping the entire sky. Humph, you want to kill me? Gu Zhong snorted coldly. Then, he stomped his feet on the ground. Bang! The ground exploded, causing dust to fly everywhere. With just one stomp, a huge crater was formed on the hard ground. At the same time, Gu Zhong shot up into the sky like a golden divine arrow, breaking through the layers of demonic fire. In an instant, he arrived in front of the almighty emperor-level demon. You! That almighty emperor-level demon was extremely shocked. The fact that the other party was able to ignore his demonic fire shocked him to the extreme. One should know that his demonic fire was the extremely powerful 9 underworld demonic fire. As long as a cultivator was touched by the demonic fire, they would be burnt to ashes. However, Gu Zhong's body emitted a golden aura, blocking all the demonic fire outside his body. None of the demonic fire could touch his body. Eat my fist! Gu Zhong was very direct. His right fist punched towards the demonic figure that was covered in demonic fire. The ferocious metal fist force shook the void, and the endless demonic fire was dispersed by his fist. Bang! Gotcha! The demon could only use his hands to protect his chest. Gu Zhong's fist smashed on the demon's arms. A bone-chilling sound of bones breaking was heard. The demon was directly sent flying thousands of feet away by Gu Zhong's fist before falling from the sky. How is this possible? Seeing this scene, all the demons turned pale with fright. Gu Zhong was much stronger than they had imagined. He actually defeated the 3 strongest demon emperors among them in one move. How could they fight against him? Some demons wanted to escape, but with the other 2 demon emperors watching, no one dared to escape. One should know that even if they escaped now, they would probably die when they returned to their clan. The devil race's punishment for those clansmen who fled in the face of battle was very severe. Let's go together. One of the demon emperors rushed towards Gu Zhong after Gu Zhong sent the other demon emperor flying with a punch. Powerful demonic energy surged from his body. Die! The demon emperor waved his right hand and a demonic light immediately flew out from his hand. It spun and slashed towards Gu Zhong. The demonic light wrapped around a crescent moon-shaped demonic blade. Swoosh! At this moment, the 3rd demon emperor made his move. A crimson light appeared and a blood-colored demonic arrow was shot towards Gu Zhong. There were demonic marks faintly visible on the blood-colored demonic arrow. As long as this demonic arrow hit, even an almighty emperor would die. This was not an ordinary demonic arrow. It was the famous blood demonic arrow of the demons. The demonic arrow contained bloody demonic chi. If this demonic chi invaded the body, even an almighty emperor would die. Ha! Come at me together. I don't have time to play with you. The destructive power was vast and mighty under his feet, and pitch-black spatial cracks emerged under his feet. What? The blood-evil demon emperor was shocked. He realized that he had still underestimated his opponent's speed. This was definitely a fatal mistake for him. Gu Zhong's foot stomped down. The blood-evil demon emperor threw away the demonic bow in his hand and then raised both his hands to block. The void trembled, and the demonic chi was mighty. A pitch-black demonic shield evolved above his hands. On the demonic shield, there were blood-colored demonic patterns intertwining. The blood-evil demon emperor didn't dare to be negligent. He attacked with all his might. Boom! Gu Zhong's foot stomped on the demonic shield. The destructive power erupted in an instant, and the blood-colored demonic shield immediately collapsed. Gu Zhong's foot directly broke through the demonic shield and stepped on the blood-evil demon emperor's arms. The sound of bones breaking was heard. The blood-evil demon emperor screamed in pain. His arms were immediately deformed. This wasn't the most terrifying thing. The most terrifying thing was that after Gu Zhong's foot broke the blood-evil demon emperor's arms, it continued to stomp on the blood-evil demon emperor's head. Without any suspense, the blood-evil demon emperor's head was directly stomped by Gu Zhong's foot. His entire skull exploded and turned into a bloody mist. The headless corpse was like a wooden stake that was pierced into the ground by Gu Zhong's foot. To think that a powerful demon emperor would be stomped to death by Gu Zhong's foot. All the demons were dumbfounded. One had to know that the one who was stomped to death was a powerful demon emperor. An almighty emperor-level demon emperor was definitely a powerhouse on the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. However, such an existence was nothing in front of Gu Zhong. You! The remaining demons were scared out of their wits. If even the strongest demon emperor wasn't a match for this human, there was no way they would be a match for him. Who in the world are you? One of the demons shouted out. This demon's voice was trembling. Hee. You guys aren't fit to know yours truly's name. Prepare to die obediently. Gu Zhong chuckled and swept his gaze across these demons. Run! The next moment, the remaining demons turned around and fled. At this moment, the speed at which they were escaping was definitely the fastest they could reach. One had to know that these demons were running for their lives. None of them were willing to die. These demon bastards! Looking at this scene, Gu Zhong couldn't help but be startled. With these demons escaping in different directions, he couldn't split his attention at all. Hence, he could only chase after a single demon. However, by the time he caught up to that demon and made his move to kill him, the other demons had already escaped far away. However, right at this moment, a few of the demons that had already escaped far away seemed to have encountered something extremely horrifying as they turned back. At the same time, Gu Zhong could feel a few powerful vibrations coming from the surroundings. Ha ha! Senior brother, we're here to help you! A crisp laughter that sounded like a silver bell came from afar. A figure walked out from behind a mound. Behind the mound was the corpse of a demon. Junior Sister Yao Yu! Looking at this person, Gu Zhong couldn't help but get a shock. This person was none other than his junior sister Yao Yu. Roar! Just then, a dragon's roar rang out from behind a short mound as a demonic figure was sent flying by a scarlet dragon claw. Junior brother Scarlet Dragon is here as well! Seeing this, Gu Zhong couldn't help but be surprised and delighted. With these junior brothers and junior sisters taking action, those demons definitely wouldn't be able to escape. Meanwhile, an even more powerful aura could be felt coming from the direction that the demons came from. A figure was walking over from afar. This person was none other than the Iron Blood Taoist. No wonder these demons ran back in fear. It turned out that they had encountered a ferocious person like the Iron Blood Taoist. One must know that the Iron Blood Taoist was a quasi-sage. The Iron Blood Taoist didn't even need to make a move. Just the powerful aura that he emitted was enough to force these demons to run back. Without any suspense, this group of demons that were chasing after Gu Zhong was completely annihilated. A self-sealing immortal sage, the old man with the dragon-headed walking stick said. He was secretly shocked. Could it be that there was such an existence guarding the second stage of the ancient road of the human race? How could this be possible? If there was such an existence, why didn't he make a move back then? Back then, when the demons attacked the second stage of the ancient road of the human race, there were countless casualties among the human race. Only a few managed to escape. If this person had acted that day, he would have been the one to escape. Master has made a move. At this time, Gu Zhong and the others were rapidly approaching the valley. However, they stopped when they arrived in the vicinity. A battle between powerhouses of this level was something they couldn't interfere at all. The aura on Master's body. Yao Yu carefully cast a spell. The aura on Gu Fei's body seemed to have changed. At this time, Gu Fei was like a descending immortal sage of the immortal path. There was no aura of a warrior on his body at all. Could it be? Gu Zhong seemed to have thought of something. Boom! At this time, the two experts in front of them had already made their moves. Two huge palms collided violently, causing an earth-shattering explosion. Gu Fei's figure flickered, and he directly attacked the old man. With a wave of his hand, the sound of thunder suddenly rang out, and bolts of lightning the size of mountains descended from the sky, bombarding the old man from the devil race. With a wave of his hand, he attracted a huge amount of sky lightning. This was a technique of the immortal path called the lightning guiding technique. Even though it was a very ordinary technique, it was something else entirely when Gu Fei used it. The old man with the demons merely raised the black dragon-headed walking stick in his hand and slashed through the void. Instantly, a huge crack appeared above his head. The overwhelming sky lightning that came crashing down were all guided into the crack by the old man with the demons. With that, the old man easily nullified this move of Gu Fei's. All right. As Gu Fei's immortal lord body spoke, the color of the sky changed with a single thought. Boundless earth chi was guided by him, turning into huge dragons that were thousands of feet long, pouncing towards the old man with the demons. Rumble! A total of 9 dragons soared into the sky, exuding an extremely terrifying aura. Huge dragon claws tore through the void, grabbing towards the old man with the demons. Roar! Just then, the black dragon-headed walking stick in the hands of the old man with the demons flew up and turned into a black dragon that soared into the sky, fighting against the 9 dragons that were formed from the earth essence chi. The demon dragon was extremely powerful. Even though it was fighting against 9 dragons alone, it was not at a disadvantage. In fact, it was even showing signs of suppressing Gu Fei's 9 dragons' great technique. Saint-tier demon weapon! The eyes of the immortal lord body lit up. To think that the walking stick in the hands of the old man with the demons was a saint-tier demon weapon. He was filled with anticipation. It would be best if these demons were not too weak. Roar! The old man with the demons roared into the sky. Then, an extremely powerful wave rippled out in all directions. In the next moment, the body of the old man shone with a demonic light. The old man turned into a demonic dragon and soared into the sky, charging at Gu Fei. Seal! Gu Fei's celestial sovereign body shouted and waved his hands. Countless Tao runes rushed out of his hands and sealed the demonic dragon that was charging at him. Every single immortal Tao divine rune released the brightest divine light, locking down an area of the void, sealing that demonic dragon within. Swoosh! Gu Fei's immortal lord body took a step forward. In the next moment, he appeared in front of the demon dragon. Without any hesitation, he used one of the 9 secrets of the immortal Tao, the primordial spirit materialization sword secret technique. He did not want to tangle with this demon dragon, so he used his killer move right from the start. Roar! At this critical juncture, the demon dragon that was sealed by the immortal runes of Gu Fei's immortal lord body suddenly erupted with a powerful wave of energy, breaking through the sealing force and rushing out. Now this is interesting. Chapter 2151. The demonic dragon was not simple. He was an old antique of the demons of the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. He was the ancestor of the demons. He was incomparably powerful, much more powerful than the ordinary demons. Rumble! The demonic dragon went all out. All the immortal runes that sealed the demonic dragon trembled and collapsed. This old demon actually broke the seal of Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao physique with his own strength. Who? The demonic dragon fiercely spat out a wave of demonic fire at Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao physique. The black demonic fire immediately enveloped the area and swept out. The entire heaven and earth seemed to be shrouded by this demonic fire. Ha ha! Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao physique laughed heartily. He moved freely in the endless demonic fire. The terrifying demonic fire could not affect him at all. Bang! With a slap of his palm, the old demonic dragon was sent flying thousands of meters away. The explosive power of a powerful immortal venerable body was absolutely astonishing. Preposterous! You're an immortal venerable! The old demonic dragon's knowledge was also extraordinary. He was actually sent flying thousands of meters away by a slap of this person. It was impossible for an ordinary sage's body to do that. Only an immortal venerable who was only one step away from the supremacy stage could have such a powerful body. One should know that the old demonic dragon was an ancient dragon. It was publicly acknowledged that the body of the dragon race was incomparably strong. This demonic dragon was also a powerful existence of the sage level. In ancient times, he once dominated a region. The demonic dragon's cultivation had been sealed, but his powerful sage-level body made his combat strength incomparably strong. There were 3 great demons on the Scarlet Blood Star. This demonic dragon was one of them. He was also the one who led the demons to conquer the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. A great sage demonic corpse was of great use to him. At this time, the mysterious demonic voice resounded in the valley again. The demonic chi in the valley was vast and mighty, emitting a powerful life fluctuation. It seemed that there was a supreme existence gradually awakening in the valley. This was definitely not a good thing for Gu Fei and the others. It seemed that these demons really mastered some kind of demonic secret technique that could give the great sage-level demonic corpse a new life. The heart-palpitating fluctuations of life, as well as the demonic nature that was so powerful that it could trigger the inner demons of cultivators, made everyone feel a sense of danger. Humph, a guy who has been dead for countless years can still come back to life. Is that even possible? Outside the Scarlet Blood Demon Star, Gu Fei was incomparably shocked. However, he also knew that it wasn't impossible for someone who had been dead for countless years to be reborn. However, this was definitely not an easy task, nor was it something that could be done in a short period of time. However, no one knew what was going on with the extremely powerful aura of life coming from the valley. No one knew what was happening in the valley shrouded in demonic aura. Kill! The demonic dragon was sent flying thousands of meters away by Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body. He was both shocked and enraged. He immediately rushed back with an endless demonic dragon aura. A pair of dragon claws came down from the sky towards Gu Fei. The huge dragon claws shrouded the entire heaven and earth. The void collapsed and was annihilated. It was extremely terrifying. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body directly used the 9 secrets of immortal Tao. The 2 huge dragon claws changed direction and collided with each other. Boom! With a loud bang, the 2 huge dragon claws disappeared in the void and turned into a destructive force that swept in all directions. What? The dragon demon's shock was no small matter. Why were his 2 claws colliding with each other? Could it be? The demonic dragon had lived for a long time and naturally had a wide range of knowledge. He couldn't help but change his expression when he thought of a certain possibility. Swoosh! At this time, the demon's sage-level demonic weapon flew back and entered the demonic dragon's body. An even more powerful demonic force erupted from the demonic dragon's body. Rumble! The void where the demonic dragon was trembled. The entire world seemed to be unable to contain the unimaginably powerful body of the demonic dragon. Swoosh! The demonic dragon suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already in front of Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body. He reached out with his claws, trying to take Gu Fei's head away. Primordial Spirit Sword of Tao! Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body used the 9 secrets of immortal Tao. A beam of sword light shot out from his brow, instantly reaching tens of thousands of meters and killing towards the demonic dragon. But with a flash of sword light, one of the dragon claws fell down. Even the powerful body of a saint could not withstand a divine sword of the great Tao. The demonic dragon roared and rushed into the sky, dodging far away. 3 pure ones in one breath. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body once again used another of the 9 secrets of immortal Tao. His body blurred, and with a swoosh, 3 Gu Feis appeared in the sky. When the demonic dragon saw this, he knew that his guess had come true. Yi Futian had really cultivated that secret technique, one that was known to be invincible. In ancient times, the 9 secrets of immortal Tao were very famous. The 3 Gu Feis immediately gave chase. Without any suspense, the demonic dragon was sent flying again. No matter how powerful it was, it could not be a match for 3 Gu Feis. That old dragon is going to lose. By this time, the battle between Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body and the demonic dragon had already alarmed all the powerful demons on the Crimson Planet. The other 2 demons, whose cultivation was no weaker than the demonic dragon, were shocked. Where did this human come from? How could he be so powerful? The demonic dragon was one of the 3 great demons on the Crimson Blood Demon Planet, and yet he was no match for him. Supremacy is amazing. Up in the sky, Gu Zhong and the rest were both surprised and overjoyed. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body was unexpectedly powerful, but they knew that Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body was still in the adjustment period. The degree of fusion between Gu Fei's primordial spirit and the immortal sovereign Tao body was not perfect. Otherwise, the demonic dragon would have been defeated long ago. Boom! The gigantic demonic dragon fell from the sky and smashed into the ground, creating a huge crater and causing dust to fly everywhere. Using the 9 secrets of the immortal Tao, the immortal sovereign Tao physique displayed supreme combat prowess. Even the powerful demonic dragon was no match for it. Kill! Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body descended from the sky. The 3 figures instantly fused together, exploding with a peerless immortal aura, and stomped down on the demonic dragon. A powerful force enveloped the surroundings. Roar! Just as Gu Fei was about to kill the demonic dragon, a roar suddenly came from the valley. A supreme demonic energy rushed out from the valley, enveloping the demonic dragon and sweeping it into the valley. What? Chapter 2152. Just as Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao body was about to kill the demonic dragon, an extremely powerful wave of demonic power erupted from the opposite valley. A wave of demonic power swept out from the valley and swept the demonic dragon into it. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao body was taken aback. The demonic power from the valley suddenly became many times stronger, as if an ancient demon's great sage had awakened. How is this possible? Did these demon bastards really resurrect the demon's great sage? Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao body had a solemn expression. At the same time, in the starry sky thousands of miles away from the Scarlet Blood Demon Star, Gu Fei's main body was also taken aback. The monstrous demonic chi that rushed out from the valley could be clearly seen even in the starry sky thousands of miles away. Within the demonic chi, there was a huge demonic shadow looming. What's going on? The demon's great sage died for countless years. How could they be resurrected? But this power, Gu Fei's main body muttered to himself. Could it be that those people were the ones who had awakened the great sage of the demon race's demon Tao source? These demons weren't trying to resurrect the great sage of the demon race, but to obtain the great sage of the demon race's demon Tao source. Whether it was the human race great sage or the demon's great sage, there was a source of power in their bodies. Although the demon's great sage had died, the demonic power source in their bodies should not have dissipated. Gu Fei seemed to have figured it out. This was an evil cultivation method of the demons. In ancient times, there were demons who specially dug the tombs of some powerful figures and stole the corpses in the tombs. But for powerful existences who had cultivated, even if they had died for countless years, the power source contained in their bodies might not have completely dissipated. Devouring the power source of others to improve one's cultivation was a shortcut in the demonic path. This method was even better than devouring the souls of living beings. At this time, an unparalleled demonic power surged out of the valley, shaking all directions. All the living beings on the entire star felt danger. Even the other 2 experts of the Devil Clan, who were comparable to the dragon demons, were extremely shocked. I heard that the devil dragon led an army to attack the second stage of the ancient road of humankind, and brought back the corpse of a great saint. Could it be true? Looks like this matter isn't just a rumor. The two demons were conversing in a low voice. They were both opponents and friends. In the demons, only strength was the only thing. Enemy and friend were just terms. At some point, enemies would become friends. This was demons. The strong preyed on the weak. As long as they were strong enough, they could dominate a region and become the ruler of a region. Damn it! If I had known that the second stage of the ancient road of the humans contained the corpse of a great sage, I would have. Some of the demons were filled with regret. However, the second stage of the human race's ancient road wasn't an ordinary place. It was an impregnable pass. Although it was said that the corpse of the great sage demons was sealed there, it was only a legend. No one would mobilize their troops and attack that human impregnable pass just for a legend. The second stage of the ancient road of the humans was guarded by the experts of the human race. Moreover, it was a pass personally built by a great sage. It wasn't an easy task to capture that pass. Although the dragon demons had captured that impregnable pass and completely destroyed it, the dragon demons had also suffered heavy losses. Almost all of their powerful subordinates had died in battle. This was definitely a good thing for the other two factions, the demons. The demonic dragon's power was no longer what it used to be, so he had to give up most of his territory. But now, it seemed that everything the demonic dragon did was worth it. The corpse of an ancient great sage demons contained the power of the demonic path, which was enough to make all the demons jealous. Devouring the power of the demonic path contained in the corpse of the great sage demons could allow the demonic dragon to break through his current cultivation realm and become the strongest demons on the Crimson Blood Demon Star. As long as the demonic dragon succeeded, he could unify the Crimson Blood Demon Star. Looks like we're out of luck. The two demons couldn't help but be shaken when they thought of this. They didn't want to die in the hands of the demonic dragon, and even more so, they didn't want to become his prisoners. But the one who's going to be unlucky first is that human. The two demons watched this scene from afar. At this time, they had no other choice. The formation around the valley had already been activated. It was the ancient demon formation of the demons. In the distant past, this was the secluded cultivation place of a great sage. This valley wasn't as simple as it looked. Haha. An old voice came from the valley. It was the voice of the demonic dragon. His voice was filled with ecstasy. He seemed to have obtained what he wanted. Humph, so what if you devoured the great sage demons' devil path origin? Outside the entrance of the valley, Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body muttered to himself. Immortal Dao runes could be vaguely seen in his eyes. His immortal Venerable Dao body was incomparably powerful. One should know that an immortal Venerable was stronger than a great sage. Moreover, the immortal Dao origin of Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body was intact. The devil path origin of the great sage demons' corpse couldn't be compared to it. Haha. Human, your time of death has come. The old voice came from the valley. The demonic dragon was wild with joy. Inside the valley, boundless devil chi was surging. The devil Dao's power was still fluctuating. You don't dare to undo the seal on your body. You want to kill me? Dream on. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body said indifferently. The entire human world had an unfathomable power that surpassed the heavenly Dao. As long as a sage appeared, the power that surpassed the heavenly Dao would descend. Even a true sage would be obliterated by that power without any suspense. This was also the reason why Gu Fei didn't dare to break through to the sage realm. I'll wait for you to kill me. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body sat cross-legged outside the entrance of the valley. He didn't attack immediately. He wanted to wait for the demonic dragon to completely devour the devil path origin of the great sage demons. Rumble! At this time, the entire valley began to shake. Pitch-black devil chi shrouded the entire sky. Within the devil chi, Dao runes were faintly discernible. Powerful devil Dao energy was condensing rapidly. The devil path origin of the great sage demons still contained unbelievably powerful devil Tao energy. This energy had been successfully guided out by the demonic dragon. As long as it devoured this energy, the demonic dragon would become the strongest existence in the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. The thought of unifying the Scarlet Blood Demon Star made the demonic dragon extremely excited. Above the tall altar, a 10,000 zhang long devil dragon coiled there. Pure devil Tao essence was constantly overflowing from the devil coffin below, and was devoured by the devil dragon. Chapter 2153. An endless amount of demonic energy rushed out from the valley, enveloping almost half of the Scarlet Star. This was simply too shocking. It should be known that this Scarlet Star was not small, but the demonic chi that leaked out of the valley had shrouded almost half of the star. All the demons were shocked to the extreme. It was as if a supreme great sage demons had descended on this Scarlet Star. Even the two overlords of the demons felt their souls tremble. On the Crimson Star, countless demons were howling, terrified to the extreme. At this moment, for all the demons on the Scarlet Star, it was as if doomsday had arrived. The supreme demonic might shocked all the demons. No one was willing to become someone else's slave, especially the devil race. If they wanted the other devil race to submit to them, then they had to be stronger than the other devil race. Only with great power would the other devil race submit to them. This great demon is not simple. In the distant sky, Gu Zhong and the others were extremely shocked. The fluctuations of demonic power coming from the valley in front of them were too strong, forcing them to retreat again and again. The powerful demonic might made their hearts palpitate. "What's wrong with Master? Why didn't he take advantage of this time to make a move?" Yao Yu said. She was very puzzled. Her master actually allowed the demon in the valley to increase its power. Could it be that Master did not care about the demon? It should be known that in a duel, this was definitely a big taboo. From Yao Yu's point of view, Gu Fei should take advantage of the fact that the demon had not gathered its strongest power to kill it. Master naturally has his reasons for not making a move. At this time, old Jiao, who had not spoken much, finally spoke. Boom! At this moment, a muffled sound suddenly came from the valley. Then, the demonic chi that shrouded the sky began to quickly retreat. A powerful wave of demonic power was rapidly increasing. Ha! It worked! The demon dragon roared. In the valley, above the altar, a pitch-black demon dragon was circling and dancing. The black demon coffin on the altar gradually calmed down. The demonic patterns on the demon coffin had completely disappeared. On the body of the 10,000-foot demon dragon in the sky, endless demonic patterns were faintly discernible, interweaving into mysterious Tao diagrams. Roar! The demonic dragon raised its head to the sky and roared. The rolling sound waves dispersed the demonic chi in the surroundings. The entire valley was shaking. At this moment, he was extremely powerful. Master, congratulations on cultivating the great sage demon body. On the altar, around the black coffin, all the powerful demons knelt down and worshipped the demonic dragon in the sky as if they were worshipping the supreme demonic saint. Human, prepare to die. A powerful wave of divine will spread out, and the black dragon above the altar immediately rushed towards the entrance of the valley. After devouring the great sage demons' devil path source, the demonic dragon finally broke through the shackles of his cultivation, allowing him to successfully cultivate the great sage devil body. At this time, the demonic energy in the dragon demon's body was surging violently. He had a feeling that he would not be happy if he did not spit it out, and he also sensed Gu Fei's aura. A black demonic dragon broke through the layers of demonic energy and rushed out of the valley. Bang! Just as the dragon demon appeared, a fist smashed over and directly smashed into his nose, causing him to bleed profusely and cracks to appear on his nose bones. Roar! The dragon demon roared and retreated. He had not expected the other party to be this ferocious, to be able to injure him with a single move. This was unacceptable to him. He had already successfully devoured the great sage demon's devil path source, and his physical body was extremely tough. How could he possibly be injured by the other party? Could it be? As though he had thought of something, the dragon demon's face turned extremely ugly. Swoosh! Just as the dragon demon was about to react, he saw a figure flashing before him. In the next moment, the dragon demon was sent flying thousands of feet away. What great sage demons is devil path source? That's all there is to it. Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body roared with laughter, his tone filled with disdain. It seemed like even after devouring the demonic corpse's devil path source, this old dragon did not seem to be that strong. You! The dragon demon was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. At the same time, he was shocked. Could it be that the other party had not displayed his true strength all this while? How was that possible? At this time, Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body strode in the air. With just a single step, he appeared above the dragon demon's head. Then, like an ancient ferocious beast, he pounced towards the dragon demon below and landed on its neck. What? The shock of the demon dragon was no small matter, because he knew very well that if they were to fight in close combat, he would not be Gu Fei's match. Even now, Gu Fei had the upper hand. Bam! Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body used his hand as a blade and slashed at the dragon demon's neck. The strength of this strike was extraordinary. The dragon demon's scales were scattered and blood could be seen. He had actually suffered a heavy injury. The dragon demon's huge body was almost split into two. Is this still a human? The dragon demon was shocked to the extreme. He regretted coming out. He shouldn't have come out. Now that he was entangled by this guy, it was absolutely terrifying. The other party's physical body was unimaginably strong. With just a casual slash of his hand, the dragon demon was heavily injured. This made him feel despair. He sadly discovered that even if he devoured the power source of the demons within the great sage of the demons' corpse, he still wouldn't be a match for this guy. Up in the sky, everyone who caught sight of this scene was stunned. This was especially the case for the powerful beings of the devil race. They were petrified right now. This human was way too strong. The two overlords of the demons thought that the human guarding outside the valley was going to be in big trouble. However, the dragon demon that came out of the valley was the unlucky one. The dragon demon roared and soared into the sky, trying to get rid of the guy on his body. However, Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body stood firmly on the dragon demon's body. Die! Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body shouted. A purple gold long sword appeared in his hand. Then, with a wave of the long sword, the huge dragon's head was sent flying. Blood stained the soil. No one could resist the power of the purple gold divine sword because this divine sword was a supreme divine weapon. Even the physical body of a great sage couldn't withstand a blow from the purple gold divine sword. The killing intent of the supreme divine sword spread from the wound to the whole body. The vitality of the dragon demon was constantly being erased. Boom! With a loud noise, the huge dragon's corpse fell from the sky, causing the earth to tremble. Bang! At this moment, the dragon's head that was cut off by Gu Fei's sword suddenly exploded. A ball of black demonic light wrapped around a primordial spirit and soared into the sky, trying to escape. Gu Fei's immortal Lord Dao body stretched out his right hand and grabbed the ball of demonic light. The primordial spirit of the dragon demon in the demonic light was so scared that it almost fainted. Bang! Chapter 2154. Even an immortal Venerable wouldn't be able to withstand the murderous aura contained in the supreme divine sword, let alone the demons. Even though he had devoured the devil Dao origin of the great sage's corpse, it was still not enough. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body did not hesitate, and directly crushed the primordial spirit of the demonic dragon, causing his soul to scatter and disappear from this world. Everyone was stunned, especially the demons. The demonic dragon was dead. How was this possible? Before this, the demonic dragon had already broken through the bottleneck of cultivation and became a great sage. However, in the human world, no one dared to appear in a state above the sage level. Once the seal on them was removed, it meant death. There was no exception, because those who didn't believe in the supernatural had all died. They had died under the mysterious power that surpassed the heavenly Tao. Even those overlords of the untainted land were no exception. They all had to die. In the past, many saint-level existences had fallen in this way. It was too unjust for them to die like this. The demonic dragon did not remove the seal on his body even after his death, because he had never thought that the combat strength of this human race expert would be so heaven-defying. After the death of the great demon, the devil chi that shrouded the entire world began to dissipate, and the valley reappeared in front of everyone. Open! Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao body emitted endless immortal divine light. Divine runes of the immortal Tao emerged on his body, as if there was a supreme great Tao resonating with him. Swoosh! A dazzling sword light rushed out from the hand of Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao body. In an instant, it soared thousands of miles and fell towards the valley in front. The sword light of the violet gold divine sword was like a hot knife through butter. As the sword light fell, countless demonic runes collapsed, and all demonic runes were destroyed. A total of 18 layers of demonic formations were destroyed. Even the ancient demonic formation laid down by the demon saint of the ancient demons could not withstand the sword light of the violet gold divine sword. With just one sword, Gu Zhong's immortal Venerable Tao body broke through the defense outside the valley, and created an opening in the layers of demonic formations. Go, fight to your heart's content! Gu Fei's celestial prime body waved its hand, and Gu Zhong and the others immediately rushed over from afar. They rushed into the valley through the gap created by the purple gold divine sword light. A great battle erupted. Demonic chi lingered in the valley, and powerful demons could be faintly seen within the demonic chi. Powerful demons rushed out to meet Gu Zhong and the others. Thousand Illusions Demon Body. A woman in a black cloak, surrounded by vast and mighty demons, intercepted Gu Zhong and displayed a powerful demonic technique. In an instant, Gu Zhong was surrounded by the silhouettes of this woman. Illusion. Gu Zhong was startled. Encountering such a powerful opponent right from the start made him incomparably excited. He could feel the battle blood in his body boiling. Kill! The female demons shouted. Countless demonic shadows attacked at the same time. The powerful demonic power instantly drowned Gu Zhong. The demonic power was full of destructive aura from all directions. The demoness of the devil race wanted to obliterate Gu Zhong. Humph! Gu Zhong harumphed coldly. A dazzling golden light erupted from his body. The power of metal surged within his body, and a layer of golden qi gang appeared around him. Bam! Boom! The violent demonic power slammed against the layer of golden qi gang, causing his body to sway unceasingly. However, he didn't fall in the end. Gu Zhong withstood this round of attacks from the female demon. What? The female demon was incomparably shocked. Her opponent was far stronger than she had imagined. Countless demonic shadows were dissipating. Those weren't her real body. She couldn't stay in this state forever. Using this technique required a great deal of energy. It's my turn. Gu Zhong didn't wait for the demoness phantom doppelgangers to completely dissipate before he made his move. A golden fist emitted a brilliant golden light. It was as if a golden sun had appeared in the valley. Under the illumination of the golden light, an endless expanse of demon qi continuously dissipated. Bam! Gu Fei's fist landed on one of the demonic shadows. How is this possible? That demonic shadow was flung away. Demonic blood dripped down from the sky. The female demon was shocked to the extreme. Her opponent was actually able to see through her real body. This was truly unbelievable. Nothing is impossible. Gu Zhong didn't have any protective feelings for the fairer sex. He took a step forward and instantly chased after the female demon who was flung away. After that, he directly made his move. Demonic blood. The female demon waved her hands in front of her. She caught a few drops of demonic blood that dripped down from her body. After that, she executed the demon's great technique. A bloody light abruptly appeared. Clang! It was as if hundreds of weapons were roaring. Within the blood-red light, numerous blood-red divine weapons appeared and slashed towards Gu Zhong from all directions. This is... Gu Zhong was taken aback. He could sense a shocking killing intent emanating from the blood-colored divine weapons. These blood-colored divine weapons seemed to have been stained with the blood of a supreme being, causing one's heart to palpitate. Martial domain. Gu Zhong didn't dare to delay. With a loud roar, a ball of golden light radiated from his body, instantly enveloping 100 zhang radius around him. The female demon was also enveloped by the golden light. Clang! Rays of golden light condensed as countless golden divine weapons appeared within Gu Zhong's martial domain. After that, they clashed with the blood-colored demonic weapons that were slashing down. You! The female demon was taken aback. She didn't expect that Gu Zhong had also cultivated such a great technique, able to manifest countless divine weapons to attack his enemies. Countless golden divine weapons and blood-colored demonic weapons clashed against each other, emitting the sound of metal clashing. It was as though they were truly supreme weapons clashing. In the end, both the golden divine weapons and blood-colored demonic weapons disappeared. This time around, the battle between the two experts seemed to have ended in a draw. However, the female demon was very clear that she wasn't Gu Zhong's opponent. One must know that the female demon was using her blood essence to activate the demon's great technique. However, Gu Zhong was able to easily execute a similar technique. This was the difference between them. The female demon quickly retreated into the depths of the valley. At this moment, the 12 bandits were also fighting with the powerful demons in the valley. Zhuge Liang waved the 5-colored feather fan in his hand continuously. Every time he waved, a colorless divine light would rush out from the 5-colored feather fan. The demons that were struck by the colorful divine light were all sent flying. The Iron Blood Taoist was even more domineering. He was like a tiger that had entered a flock of sheep, pouncing into a group of demons. In the next moment, the group of demons were all sent flying. Some of the demons were already dead when they were sent flying by the Iron Blood Taoist. This was a rare opportunity to fight against the demons. Everyone was giving it their all. Even Yao Yu and Zhong Limeng were fighting against the demons. No one was willing to miss this opportunity. Chapter 2155. With Gu Fei's support, Gu Zhong and the rest did not have to worry about anything else. They attacked with all their might, causing the demons to retreat. Suddenly Yao Yu let out a startled cry. A devil expert appeared and directly sent her flying. The black-cloaked expert from the demon clan approached Yao Yu with a sinister smile. His blood-red eyes flashed with an extremely evil light. Swoosh! Just as the demon race powerhouse was about to capture Yao Yu alive, a beam of divine light shot out from the entrance of the valley, directly piercing through the demon race powerhouse's glabella and destroying his soul. That demon race powerhouse immediately died. Thank you, Master. Yao Yu stood up from the ground and bowed towards the entrance of the valley. Then, she wiped the trace of blood from the corner of her mouth and rushed forward again. Yao Yu and Zhong Limeng's cultivation base was the weakest among Gu Zhong's group. Even the weakest among the 12 great bandits was much stronger than them. Zhong Limeng was also in danger during the battle with the demons. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body had been watching. When he saw that Zhong Limeng was about to be killed by demons, he made his move. Although the demons were strong, they were no different from ants in front of Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body. They were instantly killed by Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Dao body. Zhong Limeng, on the other hand, was drenched in cold sweat. She had never been so close to death before, to the point that she could smell it. Kill! Right at this moment, another devil race cultivator charged towards Zhong Limeng. Zhong Limeng roared in anger, and pounced towards that devil race cultivator ferociously. He raised his hand, and a handful of heaven and earth's single-breath godly lightning beads appeared. Rumble! The heavenly lightning beads suddenly exploded. The destructive force instantly engulfed the demons. The demons did not even have the chance to scream before they were completely destroyed. Oh my God, this woman is so fierce! There were also demons that were staring at Zhong Liming, wanting to attack him. However, when they saw this scene, they were given a big fright, and quickly retreated into the depths of the valley. Not many demons could withstand the destructive power of the explosion of the heaven and earth god thunder beads. Even some demon powerhouses could avoid it. To think that Zhong Liming had such a ferocious side to him. In the starry sky outside the Scarlet Star, Gu Fei couldn't help but be startled when he saw this. Although Zhong Liming looked weak, he still had some pride in his bones. At this time, the demons were retreating. Gu Zhong and the others continued to kill their way forward. Wherever they went, they left behind the corpses of many demons. All the demons were retreating into the depths of the valley. In the depths of the valley, there was demonic qi lingering around. A demonic aura that caused Gu Zhong and the others to palpitate emanated from it. It was as if a terrifying demon was hiding there. The power of the demonic dragon is going to be uprooted. In the distant sky, the other two overlords of the demons were incomparably shocked when they saw this scene. They didn't make a move because there was a figure standing in the valley in front of them. It was that figure that made them not dare to act rashly. Don't tell me we're just going to watch our brave warriors get slaughtered by those humans? A demon powerhouse said. Scram! The two demon overlords almost wanted to destroy that demon powerhouse. That human wasn't someone they could provoke. Even the demonic dragon had died in battle. No matter how strong they were, they couldn't be stronger than the demonic dragon, who had devoured the great sage demon's demonic source energy. That demon powerhouse had no choice but to retreat far away. After all, these were the two demon overlords of the Scarlet Star. No other demon powerhouse could contend against them. Rumble! At this time, there was a change in the valley. The heart-palpitating demonic aura in the depths of the valley suddenly became stronger, as if some kind of demonic power was awakening. What's going on? Is that the foundation of the demonic dragon clan? The two demon overlords were very clear about the background of the demonic dragon clan. This was also the reason why the demonic dragon clan could establish a foothold on the Scarlet Star. A last-ditch struggle. At the entrance of the valley, Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body moved and disappeared without a sound. At this time, the battle in the valley became even more intense. All the powerful demons had gathered in the depths of the valley for their final struggle. Human clan, are you going to kill us all? The voice of the black-cloaked demoness came from the depths of the valley. What a joke! The human clan and the demons have never been able to coexist since ancient times. You guys should just obediently accept your death. Gu Zhong led the 12 great bandits, and the others to block the group of demons in the depths of the valley. Once they figured out the situation inside, they would start attacking. Even if we die in battle, we will drag you guys down with us. The demoness voice was incomparably cold. Rumble! The depths of the valley was filled with vast and mighty demonic qi. Within the surging demonic qi, one could vaguely see a terrifying demonic shadow. Is that so? Haha, let's see if you have the ability to do so. Gu Zhong laughed. At this time, he did not dare to rush in recklessly. This valley was definitely not simple. The demonic aura coming from inside made everyone's heart palpitate. What's going on? Why do I have a feeling of trepidation? Iron Blood Taoist asked. There's definitely something strange inside. Xu Guiliang waved the 5-colored feather fan in his hand as he walked forward. There were blood stains on his body. Although he had killed the devil expert, he had also been injured. At this critical moment of life and death, every demon was fighting with their lives. Many of the 12 bandits were injured. Some of them were even severely injured. If it wasn't for Gu Fei's immortal Venerate Tao body, a few of the bandits would have lost their lives. Aren't you spouting nonsense? Zhong Liming said. Everyone could sense the fluctuation of demonic energy coming from that place. This demonic energy made them feel threatened. Just as everyone was watching, a figure silently appeared behind them. Master! Gu Zhong suddenly turned around and bowed. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body nodded and walked forward. Everyone was pleasantly surprised to see Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body. "Greetings, Master." The 12 great bandits also hurriedly bowed to Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body did not stop and continued walking forward. He had no intention of stopping at all. He walked straight into the depths of the valley. "Human, go to hell!" The demoness voice resounded from the depths of the valley. She seemed to be scared out of her wits. Someone actually broke into the ancestral land of her race. There was a powerful demonic energy in the ancestral land that could kill saints. Terrifying demonic energy erupted. A ball of demonic light rushed out and enveloped the entire valley. Countless demonic runes interweaved and turned into destructive energy. "Master!" Chapter 2156. Boundless demonic energy erupted, and demonic light soared into the sky. Every demonic pattern was as huge as a mountain, filling the space between heaven and earth. It was as if a supreme demon lord had awakened. Rumble! Heaven and earth shook. Gu Zhong and the others hastily retreated from the valley. In the end, the entire valley was shrouded in demonic light and demonic patterns. "Master!" Gu Zhong and the others were shocked to the extreme. They never imagined that the final move of the Demon Dragon clan would be so terrifying. At this moment, the valley that was shrouded in demonic light seemed to have transformed into a demonic sky. Everything inside was obliterated by the Tao patterns of the demons. This was definitely a power that surpassed the saint rank. Moreover, the power that reigned supreme over the heaven and earth Tao didn't descend. In other words, the one who released this terrifying devil Tao power wasn't one of the old fogies of the devil race. None of the ancient demons dared to undo the seal on them. Not even the real demon lords would dare to do so. "Ha ha, die!" The demon girl's maniacal laughter rang out from the valley. "Humph, is this all you've got? You still can't kill me." Then, Gu Fei's voice rang out. "This?" Up in the sky, all the demons who witnessed this scene were indescribably shocked. The Demon Dragon clan had already used their strongest move, but they still couldn't kill this human. Could this human be a supreme being? One must know that the demonic energy in the valley had definitely surpassed the saint level. In the human world where saint-level experts were extinct, this was already the strongest power. How is this possible? Up in the sky, the two overlords of the demons were dumbfounded. Even they would die if they went in. There was no suspense. "Master is fine." Gu Zhong and the others were both surprised and delighted. Master's Tao body was really too powerful. It seemed that there were very few people in the human world who could be his master's match. He thought of the peerless figures on the soaring dragon ancestral star. Perhaps only those people could compete with his master. At this moment, in the valley, a figure stood on the ground like a primordial divine mountain. In front of this figure was a black stone that was blooming with endless demonic light and demonic patterns. Behind this stone that was filled with demonic nature, there were many demons sitting cross-legged on the ground. These people were the subordinates of the demons, and the one at the front was a woman. Dozens of demons were using the demon's secret technique to awaken the powerful demon path power contained within the demon stone. This stone. Gu Fei's immortal Venerable Tao body stared at the fiend's stone floating in the void in front of him. His eyes flickered as he sensed the most primitive power of the fiend Tao. How could there be such a monster in this world? Countless demonic runes rushed out of the demon stone and rushed towards Gu Fei's immortal Venerate Tao body. The power of each demonic rune was extremely strong. On the immortal Venerable Tao body, countless immortal divine runes interweaved and formed a light barrier around it, blocking all the incoming demonic runes. Gu Fei's Yuanshan Tao embryo fused with the immortal Venerable's physical body and seemed to have turned into the supreme immortal Tao. Every move he made was filled with boundless Tao charm. This most primitive power of the immortal Tao was able to resist the powerful fiend power of the demon stone. "I'll fight you to the death!" The demon girl roused the fiend essence in her body with all her might, channeling the fiend power of the demons into the demon stone in front of her without any regard for the consequences. Buzz! The demon stone vibrated and let out a deafening sound. Demonic runes of the ancient road began to emerge from the demon stone. These were the most primitive demonic runes in the world, possessing unfathomable power. A fist-sized fiend Tao body emanated a demonic nature that made even the immortal Venerable's Tao body palpitate. Roar! At this moment, among the dozens of demons sitting cross-legged behind the demon stone, several demons roared and fell to the ground. Their bodies were rapidly withering as their fiend essence chi was devoured by the demon stone. Could this demon stone really be a chaos demon stone? In the starry sky 10,000 miles away from the Scarlet Planet, Gu Fei was extremely shocked. He had some kind of connection with the immortal Venerable's Tao body, allowing him to see what the immortal Venerable's Tao body saw. The Chaos Demon Stone was an incomparably ancient item that was born in the chaos before the creation of the world. It was the source of evil energy in the world. The most primitive demonic runes were condensed on the Demon Stone, possessing unimaginable power. However, after countless years, this Demon Stone had long gone extinct in the human world. Who would have thought that this Demon Stone of original demon would appear here? Although it was only the size of a fist, this Demon Stone displayed power that surpassed the sage level. From this, one could imagine how terrifying this Demon Stone was. Boom! The primordial devil energy erupted like a terrifying destructive tide. With the Chaos Demon Stone as the center, it spread out in all directions. In just an instant, the group of demons behind the Demon Stone was turned into ashes. All of their bodies and souls were destroyed. This power was so strong that even Gu Fei's immortal Venerable's Tao body was sent flying away. What's going on? At this moment, everyone outside the valley sensed the terrifying energy fluctuations that seemed capable of destroying the heavens and earth. Gu Zhong and the rest quickly soared into the sky and flew into the starry sky, not daring to stay on the ground. The other demons also retreated at the first instance. Rumble! The entire valley exploded. Pitch-black spatial cracks extended out in all directions. Each crack was bigger than a mountain. The terrifying primordial devil energy erupted, causing the entire Scarlet Planet to tremble. The scarlet ground cracked, forming huge and hideous cracks. This was definitely a disaster for the demons on the Scarlet Blood Demon Star because the primordial devil stone was still devouring the devil energy from all directions. The Chaos Demon Stone soared into the sky like a devil sun, hovering in the sky. Roar! The demons closest to it roared. In an instant, their devil energy was sucked dry by a powerful devouring force, turning them into dried corpses and falling to the ground. All the demons within a radius of 10 million miles were fleeing for their lives. All the demons were losing their devil energy rapidly. Countless demons collapsed, never to get up again. What's that? What's happening? A demon expert roared. A primordial devil energy enveloped more than half of the Scarlet Blood Demon Star. Even the two supremes among the demons were losing their devil energy continuously. The devouring force only disappeared after they had escaped 10 million miles away. However, only the strongest demons could escape 10 million miles away in a short period of time. Countless demons didn't have this ability at all. On the scarlet ground, countless demons had fallen. Roar! The two supremes of the demons roared. Their hearts were bleeding. Almost all the demons under them had died. Only a few powerful demon generals had survived. Just as the primordial devil energy was devouring all the essence in the world, Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body soared into the sky. Using the violet gold divine sword as protection, he broke through the layers of devil energy and arrived in front of Gu Zhong and the others. Then, he extended his hand and kept Gu Zhong and the others into his sleeve. Buzz! The violet gold divine sword emitted a dazzling sword radiance. Gu Fei's immortal sovereign Tao body executed the immortal sword technique. He became one with the sword and rapidly flew away. Let's go! After reuniting with the immortal sovereign Tao body, Gu Fei decisively retreated. The primordial devil stone was too strange. It could actually devour all the essence in the world. Moreover, the primordial devil nature in the devil stone was so strong that even Gu Fei almost fell for it. It definitely had the terrifying power to demonize all living beings. In a star domain 10 million miles away from the Scarlet Blood Devil star, Gu Fei stopped. With a wave of the immortal sovereign Tao body, Gu Zhong and the others appeared in the starry sky. What's going on? When Gu Zhong came out, he was a little dizzy. He still didn't know what had happened. I didn't expect there to be a primordial devil stone in the depths of that valley, Gu Fei said. Primordial devil stone. When the others heard this, they didn't know what it was. However, they all knew that as long as there was the word demon in it, it was definitely not a good thing. Only Iron Blood Taoist's expression changed drastically when he heard about the primordial devil stone. That's something from before the chaos was formed. How can there be such a thing in the human world? Iron Blood Taoist looked in the direction of the Scarlet Blood Devil star. In the sky above the star, there was a devil sun that was floating, devouring all the essence in the world. Even the starry sky above the demonic sun became dim and lightless. This thing is definitely a huge threat, Iron Blood Taoist said. With my current ability, it's impossible for me to refine this devil stone. It's even more of a threat if I carry it with me. Let's go, Gu Fei said after pondering for a moment. The origin of the primordial devil stone was too great. It was the most primitive devil stone that was born from the chaos. The devil stone had naturally evolved devil runes on it. To a certain extent, it was the most primitive supreme devil rune in the world. Even if Gu Fei had the mountain and river cauldron, the peerless ominous saber, the violet gold divine sword, and the three boundaries monument, he wouldn't be able to destroy this devil stone. Only a true supreme being would be able to melt this devil stone. In the end, Gu Fei and the others had no choice but to retreat and return to the second stage of the ancient road of the human race. This place was already in ruins. Gu Fei and the others found the teleportation formation in the ruins and continued moving forward. Just as Gu Fei and the others disappeared from the teleportation formation, a golden figure dashed over from afar. Damn it, Gu Fei actually left. It was a woman wearing a golden mask. She was the Golden Goddess. One would not be able to sense the existence of time when performing long-distance teleportation in the void. After an unknown period of time, the eyes of Gu Fei and the others suddenly lit up. Soon after, they appeared in a bright world, and a wave of life aura hit them in the face. This is... Chapter 2157. Gu Fei and the rest realized that they were standing on an ancient formation platform. The entire formation platform was filled with traces of erosion left behind by the passage of time. The surroundings of the formation platform were in ruins. Countless vines and weeds grew among the ruins. Further away, towering ancient trees could be seen. It was a primordial forest. From the depths of the primordial forest, the roars of wild beasts could be heard. They had actually arrived at a place full of vitality. However, there were no traces of human activity here. Who knew how long this third stage of the human race had been abandoned? Among the ruins, only an ancient formation platform remained intact. Otherwise, Gu Fei and the rest would not have been able to reach this place. This was the first place that Gu Fei and the rest had come across after leaving ancestral star Buzhou. The fresh air lifted everyone's spirits. Check the surroundings, Gu Fei instructed Gu Zhong and the rest. Yes. Gu Zhong and the rest hurriedly accepted the order and spread out. What they needed to do now was to understand their surroundings and find out what kind of place they had arrived at. Very quickly, Gu Fei and the rest found out what kind of place they were in. It was a barren land. There were no humans here, only powerful wild beasts. Gu Fei and the rest set up camp on the ruins of the third stage. Then, Gu Zhong and the 12 bandits dispersed into the forest outside. To them, a barren land like this was the best hunting ground. Moo! Gu Zhong did not go far before a loud roar came from the mountains in front of him. A giant bull the size of a mountain walked out. This? Gu Zhong was shocked. To think that there would be such a powerful wild beast in this place. The bull's body was pitch black, and it exuded a murderous aura. There were 2 golden, incomparably sharp horns on the head of the giant bull. The legendary extinct golden horned bull. Gu Zhong recognized the bull. He was shocked. The golden horned bull was a creature from the desolate era. Although it was not very powerful, it could still smash a mountain when it went berserk. Why would there be such an ancient creature in this place? Gu Zhong was shocked. At this time, the others also encountered many powerful creatures. Boom! A violent and ferocious aura exploded in a forest. A black godly crocodile suddenly rushed out from a pool in the forest and pounced towards Yao Yu. Kill! Yao Yu roared and waved her hands. A water-blue qi-gang immediately rushed out of her hands and chopped at the godly crocodile. Pooh! The water-blue qi aura fiercely hacked on the crocodile's abdomen, and sent the crocodile flying upside down into the pond, splashing water everywhere. Yes! Yao Yu was shocked. The godly crocodile did not seem to be injured. It broke out of the water and spat out a pitch-black gas at Yao Yu. The water plants around the pool withered as soon as they came into contact with the black gas. When Yao Yu saw this scene, she was shocked. This godly crocodile was not simple. It spat out poisonous gas. Before the poisonous gas even reached her, the stench already made her feel a little dizzy. Come on, let me practice. Yao Yu moved her feet and instantly moved 7 to 8 shang. Then, she separated her hands and a mass of water-blue light spread out from her body. The sound of metal clanging was unceasing. Powerful water elemental qi-gang quickly condensed. Many divine weapons appeared around her body. Each divine weapon emitted a powerful energy fluctuation. This was a martial arts combat skill that Yao Yu had comprehended when she was fighting with the spirits on Berry Heaven Star. She could release the martial arts energy from her body and condense all kinds of divine weapons to kill the enemy. Countless swords broke through the black gas and directly attacked the godly crocodile. All kinds of divine weapons condensed from martial arts energy were like real divine weapons. They slashed the godly crocodile's body, splashing sparks. This time, the godly crocodile was not as lucky as before. Blood splashed everywhere. The thick layer of scales on its body was finally broken. Some parts even revealed the bones. The godly crocodile roared and wanted to escape back into the pool. However, Yao Yu had no intention of letting this godly crocodile go. Swoosh! She took a step forward and instantly appeared above the godly crocodile. Then, she stomped down. A powerful force appeared under her right foot. Ripples that could be seen with the naked eye appeared in the void. Bang! Gotcha! Yao Yu directly stomped on the godly crocodile's head. The godly crocodile's skull immediately shattered. It fell from the sky and smashed many trees. The beast king in this forest was trampled to death by Yao Yu just like that. After killing the godly crocodile, Yao Yu continued to explore. This barren land was very suitable for adventure. Walking in this kind of place, one would encounter all kinds of dangers. In another direction, Old Dragon encountered a huge snake that was as big as a mountain. The dragon and the snake met and a great battle broke out. The huge snake was extremely powerful. With a sweep of its tail, a mountain was broken in half. Old Dragon revealed his original form. He directly used his dragon claws to grab the body of the huge snake and forcefully tore it into two. Then, he devoured the inner core that was born in the body of the huge snake. The scene was bloody and primitive. This was the most primitive law of the barren land. The weak were prey to the strong. Zhongli Meng was also in danger. She was at the side of a lake, and she encountered an azure flood dragon. After that, a great battle ensued. In the end, even though she managed to kill the azure flood dragon, she was still heavily injured. She had no choice but to consume spirit medicine to heal herself, and thus temporarily stopped. At this time, in the ruins, after sending everyone out, Gu Fei opened his inner world and let out all the people of the Meng family who were suitable for cultivation. Go, this is your hunting time. Gu Fei did not say much and directly ordered. Thousands of people of the Meng family immediately rushed into the barren land outside of the ruins and disappeared into the forest. In this kind of place, the Meng family was like a dragon entering the sea. They were originally humans of the barren land and lived in the barren land. They couldn't be more familiar with this kind of place. The Meng family was the target that Gu Fei deliberately cultivated. This line of people cultivated the ancient martial arts that Gu Fei taught them. Their physical bodies were extremely strong. Especially Meng Long, who had not cultivated for a long time, but his physical body already had the strength of a dragon elephant. In the future, he might be able to break through to the immortal realm. On the path of cultivation, one could not advance by leaps and bounds. It would not work if one only pursued great strength without tempering one's mind. It was like a child with infinite strength swinging a 100-pound hammer. If one was not careful, they would hurt themselves.